Yeah, 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 Yo, get it twisted. This rap shit is mine, motherfuckers. Fucking game. Fuck what you heard. It's what you hearing. It's what you hearing. Listen. It's what you hearing. Listen. It's what you hearing. Listen.
Do it. Get out of here.
Gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your
So apparently, the player did want to start. Gave up on it because it didn't go. Died out. And they just started blazing, I guess. I guess the plan is to continue forward and do this bad boy.
No matter how many cats I break bread with, I break who you sending me. You motherfuckers never wanted nothing but your life saved. Bitch, and that's on a life day. I'm getting down, like a nigga said freeze. But won't be the one ending up on his knees, bitch, please. If the only thing you can't steal was came out to play, stay out my way, motherfucker. We gonna rock, then we gonna roll, then we let it pop, don't let it go.
Alright. I want to give an intro to spiritual warfare. Manipulation mostly. It's try to infiltrate somebody's mind to be able to figure out what makes them feel. And then when you can make somebody feel, you can make them respond accordingly. For example, the love languages, when you give somebody a gift, they feel the law of reciprocity, the desire to give back, that they owe somebody something in a way. A debt of gratitude at the very least, in terms, so people know how to leverage that. And when we dive into the universal laws, how then you can transmute that energy. Once you get angry about something, your energy gets elevated. You're all fired up, huffing and puffing. And then you can rechannel that energy. And when people know how to make you feel, they know how to make that work. It's one way to keep a relationship thriving too. You can play games with your significant other's mind and body, spirit, in good jest, which is why you essentially chose the person that you chose to be with, because you're comfortable enough around them to allow them access to your mind, your body, and your energy. And people, especially girls, they give it away. They give it up to anybody that'll give them attention. Oh man, it's mostly just girls in their culture, and then the fuckboys try to play along as best as they can so that they can fuck the dumb bimbos. It's mostly just trying to fit in, and people just sharing stories and hanging out. Then people go about their ways of figuring out how to use the information they have to gas somebody up, to get them to feel what you want them to feel, at least lead them down the path of that vibrational frequency. It becomes complex to know what's natural versus who's intentionally trying to take advantage of the situation and use that information. It's not all bad though, because when you can use the information with friends, you can use it to have fun. You can talk shit to each other and get them all gassed up and have a good laugh. Or anyway, it's hard to know who's doing things with intent to cause harm. And ignorance and just being, oh, it's who I am, so you just have to fucking suffer me because we're family or we're in the friend group together, so you're a part of the community, so we just gonna suffer you. I just hate our current state of society where it's, if somebody finds out you did something wrong, now everyone is justified in their reaction and how they retaliate, and somebody or everyone or multiple people or indefinite amount of people over an indefinite amount of period of time get to hurt you because they felt something after a story got pushed around. It creates a state of cognitive dissonance, like an indefinite state of negative feeling associated with thought that doesn't have a resolution. Most of the time, it's not being able to see somebody else's point of view. Cognitive dissonance, when a relationship gets destroyed, is when reality gets shifted in your mind. You have to somehow create a new reality, or you're just lost in a state of thought. The mind is so full that the mind is shut off, and can't really process much of anything. And that's when people are easiest. Get a girl to destroy her relationship and she'll be shut off, that all she'll want to do is catch a good vibe and fuck a bunch of fuckboys and have fun with her gal pals that are the ones that are intentionally creating the fucking chaos and just turning everyone into a fucking scumbag pile of shit. But it's okay because we're just having fun. That's what friends do. They just destroy everyone's life so they can fuck each other. The game is to get good at finding information to learn about somebody so you can use it to get them charged emotionally. So then you can transition the energy to something they want so that then they can go, have fun with the fuckboy. And then when the troubadour is done, he just gives her back because he doesn't want her. He just wanted to have fun for a night. And that's all she wanted to. But she also wanted more because it's just fun shit. So who doesn't want more having just fun fucking around? And there's no smoke.
And I know that your family's all dead. But what the fuck were they feeding you?
But it's just
fat bitch.
Better when
get off the horse.
We'll talk about the energy getting on the same frequency and what we're capable of doing when we're on the same frequency. The idea is, talked about it in the Child Predator playbook. It's not just for children. The game is the same. For some reason, we've decided that the Child Predator playbook is bad if it's done on a child, and if you're using it intentionally to destroy somebody's life to an adult so you can have fun fucking being friends, doing whatever the fuck friends do. That's what friends are for. So, goal is to get everyone off the frequency of everybody else and onto your frequency and just draw in whoever you want so then you can use them for the time being and then discard them and move on. For a lot of people, and I want to create a community, something that's strong and lasts. Kind of like I'll dive into more of the Greek philosophy and what their society was built on, how they tried to keep everything kind of on an even keel and peaceful within their community so that they could thrive. Well, let me tell you guys why this stuff's important. We'll talk about the energy chart to use it as a reference, but the emotion that you feel reflects the state that you're in and that you project out to others. And it can be associated with something not relevant to the scenario. It doesn't matter if it is or isn't. Your emotional response is going to be relevant, though, no matter what. So it's best to be in control of it on your own terms, the decision you've made for yourself, rather than letting some other person you've given trust to put you in an emotional state and guide you to make decisions that are going to ruin. The goal is to be able to maintain the higher vibrational frequency as much as possible to be able to attain enlightenment. We can't attain enlightenment when everyone's dragging everyone down to the lowest vibrational frequencies. Everyone's trying to corrupt each other's energy because it's fun and they don't care and they're all being secretive.
It's like, I don't know, it's fun to do bad things.
And it is fun. It's not something that I'm not saying shouldn't ever be done. It's just that when you can highlight somebody's flaws and their insecurities, they have an emotional response to that. They have fear, embarrassment, shame, whatever negative frequency, whatever low vibration, whatever is going to make them feel the hurt and the anger and the pain. But if you're the one that they go to for comfort and joy, then you also know all those things too. So you can amplify their energy with a lower vibration, and you can poke fun in loving ways. The problem is when a feminist finds out about it, then the feminist is like, no, you're never allowed to make fun of any girl ever. You're not allowed to joke about it. You're not allowed to acknowledge its existence. You have to pretend it's not real, or else we're gonna ruin your fucking life. Yay, women fucking empowerment. That's what it is. Women empowerment. That's what it is. Yay, women. Yay, fucking women. It's just a fucking bunch of dumb cunts and bimbos that get together and talk shit about guys, and that's just their fun in life, is to just gossip and talk shit and slander everyone behind their back, find secrets so that you can use it to get people emotional so you can have their fun with them.
It's like, I don't know, it's fun to do bad things. I kind of want to do hood rat stuff with my friends in the basement. That's what we're doing here. We are doing hood rat stuff with our friends in the basement.
No, they're not allowed to have fun in this world. Only feminists and the fuckboy lying cunts. That's it. Period. Yay, women! Hey, G, come here, girl. The feminine energy is just great to be around. It's great to be around when it's not toxic. And the problem is no one has the courage to tell the toxic ones to shut the fuck up and stop being fucking cunts. They do it in secret for the most part, and it's girls having fun. We'll get into how they shut off any humanity, any decency, and the progression that girls take to shut their soul off. And at what point do they start becoming suicidal, hateful, pretty much every day, unless they're getting gassed up by their friends, is empty, or I don't know how you describe it, or what purgatory is. When God puts you in purgatory because you've done so much fucked up shit and you haven't given a fuck or apologize, you just go and empower yourself and everyone around you to be like you so you can validate yourself rather than figuring out why the fuck is God doing this shit to me? Why can't I sleep at night? Why won't he let me fucking sleep? Well, maybe you should ask him. I bet she's got the fucking answer. Bet she's got an answer for you. But no. Luke's crazy for talking that way. It's supposed to find balance. And balance is hard to find. Balance is not that hard to find. It's that it's hard to maintain over, I don't know, I seem to have no problem with it for like years and years and years. And then just out of nowhere, Andy Taint and one of his bottom bitches.
The girl has to hear from a girl. And this is where your bottom has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell?
Now mad at you. And now everyone I know doesn't like you. And they're all telling me that I should just give up on you. And it's all because of some feminist gender war that people fucking have. This war, this fucking trans war, to make everyone feel what they want to fucking feel. None of it's fucking real. It can all be based on a fucking lie or something that never fucking happened, but it doesn't matter. As long as you get a girl to feel something. As long as someone feels it, then they'll fucking... Who the fuck knows what they'll do? Who the fuck knows what they won't do? That's the fucking thing. That's the problem. Who knows what they fucking won't do to fucking make sure they satisfy that fucking feeling? Problem is once Andy Taint and the bottom bitch weave their web and make it their game to poison the admiration and love this girl has for the man she's been with for however long. Once they're done with her, they just fucking discard her if she gets annoying, and you're fucking done. You're out. You're no longer, what is it? You're no longer being a slut out here. You're no longer a part of the group then. So get the fuck out. And all the people that she thought were her friends really were just, I don't know, they call it friendship, girlfriend. If you're not part of the vibe, then you don't exist anymore. That's girl code. Went off on a tangent there. We are going to chat about the universal laws. I don't know how much we'll get into. This fucking view is fantastic. Can't see it, but the moon's up there. It's almost whole for a day. Alright, the universal laws. We're going to talk about the energy, the law of vibration, and we're going to still keep this energy chart up and understand the vibration is how strong are you feeling the energy. The vibration is the strength of the feeling felt, and the frequency should be on a positive minus line chart, gradually getting more strong positively or negatively on this chart. It should have, does the energy feel good or does the energy hurt? How much does it hurt and where does it hurt? How much does it feel good and where does it feel good? The energy inside is powerful, so sometimes in the heart it can be a beaming light and happy, or it can be sharp pain, like there's just fucking daggers in it. Heavy, and we're going to go into states that other people have taught how to understand this, so you guys can go do research on it. Because like I keep want to drill it. I want to drill it in all the time. I don't want to be the one teaching all of this shit, doing all of this that everyone comes to for answers, because you guys can go. The goal of all of this is to dive inward, find out where your problems are, and then brainstorm solutions. That's what the next video is going to be. Cognitive behavioral therapy, essentially. What are you thinking? How does it make you feel? And what response do you act out based on that thought and feeling combination, which is in the next video. But today we're going to talk about the universal laws. The law of vibration states that everything in the universe, whether tangible or intangible, vibrates at its own unique frequency. Includes physical objects, thoughts, emotions, and even intentions. Those are two concepts that are hard to break off too. The concept of an object vibrating, scientists are breaking it down to atoms. That's something I don't really want to focus on here. But then the real idea that I'm talking about is feelings, the energy, the vibration inside. It's never not vibrating. It's just the level of energy and the strength of which of the vibration you feel it is always changing. And then the frequency, whether you feel a good emotion or a bad emotion, changes, boom, instantly. As soon as you have the new thought and let the new thought sink in and let go of the old thought, the new feeling sets in, and you're putting memories and ideas into the frequency, the vibration, good or bad vibration, the happy or the positive. You're adding to the tank of energy, and the ideas that are associated with it are unique within the individual per the situation at hand. Humans are also very complex. Vibration determines experience. Higher vibration correspond to positive experience, emotions, and outcomes. Example, love, joy, gratitude. Lower vibrations align with negative states, fear, anger, sadness, and I want to add lust into that, because lust is a negative vibration because it's craving a need. It's not having a need met and feeling appreciated and grateful and happy for being seen. It's be secretive, do a bunch of things, let's get real low vibration, drag everyone low vibration by being grief or fear, whatever Andy Taint's got to make the girl feel something, then transition it back to a positive one, and then you've added a lot of energy to the vibration and played with people's emotions until you landed on the frequency of lust, and then lean into that one and hold on to the frequency as much as you can until you hate each other, whatever, someone makes a mistake, and then you ghost each other and pretend each other doesn't exist so you can play the same cunt game on somebody else and do the same thing over and over and over again. I want so much more out of life than what it takes to be a vampire. Next, energy flows towards focus. The energy of your thought, emotions, and actions will manifest and expand where you direct your attention. Positive energy can elevate while negative energy can deplete. Depleting the energy, deflating, belittling people and destroying them so that they're at the lower vibration and stay at the lower vibration. So they're always at the base level. We talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Sexual reproduction is at the base level. So if you're barely getting by because you've just shit on your fucking life to go make your feminist friend happy, and you destroyed your relationship and all of your fucking community, you just fucking always stay at that low vibration, working just towards getting your basic needs met. And that's all you can really think about. You can't really focus too much on your self-esteem and the things that make you actually powerful and great in this world. Family, friends, community, you can't focus on those things because you got to focus on making, how do I get food today? How am I going to get to the next destination? Where's my next job? Where am I going to be able to sleep? You'll never be able to stabilize yourself, so you always maintain in the lower level of urges. That's where your attention is going to be generally focused. So that's why the goal of Andy Taint's bottom bitch is to find holes in the girl's mind, poke at it, and gain her trust and confidence, and then direct her away from, he talks about it in some of his videos.
The girl has to hear from a girl. And this is why your bottom has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell?
You have to f girls. You cannot do a business relationship with a female, and I'll tell you why. Women have sex with somebody. If they're not fucking you, they're fucking somebody else. And that other person she's fucking is going to have the control over her mind, as opposed to you. And if he controls her mind and you don't control her mind, once she starts to pick it up a bit after a few weeks, a few months, whatever, and realizes how to make money on her own, or she's going to run off and pay her boyfriend, or them two are going to go traveling in Southeast Asia and she's going to work as she goes, or she's going to go to her boyfriend and say, look, fuck it, you type for me.
The girl is going to give her mind and energy to whoever she's fucking the most. So if he's still trying to control her mind while letting the girl that is prostituting for him fuck who she wants to fuck, because you can't control these girls. You can only manipulate them into needing you and using you as much as you're using them so you can profit off of each other while still letting these girls go be skanks and sluts for the street. That's the whole pimp game. Like vibration attract like. Like is the basis for understanding how you can use vibration to manifest desired outcome, which will tie more into the law of attraction when we get into that long, because it's just important to highlight it a little bit. But the like attracts like concept. If you like something and somebody else finds out that you like it, then they talk about how they like it too. Well, you're going to like them too, because they're going to be associated with something that you like. So your initial feeling while being around that person is something that you like, is that good vibration. That's their mission, is to make sure they associate themselves with every good vibration and associate everyone else with the bad vibration. How do they get to like, for you to like them and be alike so that you're aligned in thought, mind, body, energy, so you can have a nice fun fuck and then pretend each other doesn't exist once the game's over and the fuckboy gets exposed for whatever game he played. And the girl just played along too. I don't want to get these girls any fucking scapegoat. It's most of the girls. It's all the single ladies. All the bumblebees and the fucking swifters. Your thoughts and feelings have measurable frequencies that influence your energy field. Positive thoughts create higher frequency, while negative thoughts lower your frequency. You can see it on your face when you're having a feeling. You tend to have facial responses. Your voice can change. When the energy level gets high, we'll talk about your brain, how it shuts off. So you're not really thinking and processing everything. You're just going on reflex mostly, not really thinking them through and caring whether or not you fucking are right or wrong, inbounds or out of bounds. But if you can get it inbounds as much as possible, that's great. But there is no ref, so even if you hit it out of bounds, you can just say, fuck you, I'm right and you're wrong, and I don't give a fuck, because who's gonna fucking stop me? And that's the type of people that we're talking about. The Machiavellian, narcissistic psychopaths. The dark triad, the queen of hearts. How do people gain power and influence in this world? Resonance and alignment. Your vibrational frequency determines what you resonate with. This means you attract experiences, people, and opportunities that match your vibration. We just talked about that. This in the Predator's playbook too. How you go on someone's social media, stalk their Instagram, learn about what they like so that you can be knowledgeable enough to speak on it, and make sure you give that good like feeling. So then you can align frequencies and keep everything in that good positive vibration. Geared towards the feminist, the predator, the fuckboy, the sorority skank, secret society people that are just, what is the secret society? What is the Illuminati? It's not that special. It's a group of girls that go fucking party together and have fun, and then they go back to one of their houses and they gossip and share all their dirty, dark secrets, and they strategize each other's life and try to figure out how to control other people so that girls can go be happy, fucking who they want to fuck and living their best life. And they go into secret rooms and they go strategize these things out, and then they have each other
I don't
execute
know, it's
on their
fun to do bad
plans and then
things.
report back. And it's just a
I
game
don't
of
want to do
controlling
hood
each
rat
other's
stuff with
mind
my
and
friends in
calling
the
it
basement.
friendship. It is a base level of friendship, which is why you got to really be careful. Because these intentions that are hard to understand how they work and how karma actually works and how the energy shifts when the attention is in the air. We'll get into neuro-linguistic programming, which is how do you use language and communicate what you want somebody to think about without getting in any way for anyone to know that I'm doing anything. You can't tap into the energy and the great things you can do with the energy if you can't stabilize your own energy and focus and contain balance. The Queen of fucking Hearts. So I can't fucking beat the fucking Queen of Hearts. She wins every fucking time because everyone just plays along with her fucked up little world just so that she can be fucking happy, because, you know, happy wife, happy fucking life. Because your fucking household won't be fucking happy if you guys don't just play along. Every girl just plays along in girl power, and then they team up. If the girl is wrong, then it doesn't matter if the girl is wrong. The girl is always fucking right. She needs to, this is what my ex-mom said, she needs to always think she's right, even if she's wrong. That's self-esteem for girls. And that's why girls are taking on their makeup and won't go out in public being a real human being. They're all fucking an altered version of themselves that they want the world to see them as, because they can't be seen for who they really are, because then they won't fit in. When you gossip, you get no chance to defend yourself or to apologize for what you did wrong so that you can repent and atone and make it right. You don't get a chance because they're just having fun talking shit. Then once the girl makes the decision on no, then it's all the girls get to team up now. Now we're on the team of she said no for once, so now we're all saving the girl, and let's go destroy man and destroy the relationship. And every time we talk to her, did you do it yet? Did you break up with him yet? Did you do it yet? Never let her forget about it. Always, it's all we ever think about now. Feminist cunts that just get together and then they fucking team up against man. Because yes, I promise you forever is temporary, and a no is fucking forever, because all the feminists are gonna team up and destroy man. Yay, women! Yay, fucking women! Sorry, baby girl. Come here. Come here. You can go over here then. I'm so sorry. Come here, baby girl. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm almost done. Why is this important? It's next on my list. Why is the law of vibration important? Empowerment. Understanding that you can control your vibration gives you power to shape your reality. Maintain flow state, which feels like limitless energy. That's what I want to talk about. It's when you have balance and your energy isn't making you off balance and shift one way or another, you can get into the flow state. And when you're relaxed and comfortable in the flow state, you can start accomplishing everything you want. And it feels like a trance state of like a limitless energy that you're accomplishing one thing after another, like the movie fucking Limitless, kind of. It's not like an eternal state. You still need sleep, you still need to eat food and live life, but you can maintain it for, I don't know, I want to know how long you can maintain it. That's what I want to know. And I just have a hard time maintaining any balance because there's always some girl ready to rescue somebody. And then alignment with your desires is like the like attracts like concept. So once you start talking about it, you're going to start attracting that kind of attention into your life, because the people that have those same thoughts are going to hear keywords that are going to trigger them, and then they're going to be more attracted to you. They're going to see you because you're speaking the same language as them. And that's how you're aligning, and that's how you gain attention. The like attracts like concept. And you should be able to use these skills to draw in what you want in your life. And then deeper connection to the universe when you understand it. And what I mean by this is understanding your own vibration and your own energy, and understanding how you feel it and why you feel it, and then being able to manipulate it yourself so that you can maintain the state that you want to be in, and then use the energy to, I just wonder the possibilities of what we can do when we start aligning better and not allowing the negative vibration that causes the arguments to destroy. We'll talk about karma soon enough. The idea is if somebody does something and the fuckboy finds out, then he can just pretend to be friends with that girl, find a way to make it be brought up so that she has to be reminded of it. And then they're just friends that are talking and he cares about her. And so he gets to comfort her and console her and say he would never do anything like that to her and try to get close to her. Girl does that, she's just friends. Then feminists team up and say, oh, the guy's just being, what do they say? What's their trigger word? Insecure. They call the man insecure because fuckboy is running game trying to make girl feel what he wants him to feel so he can bang the dumb slut. And then after the girl breaks up with the man, then she goes and fucks that guy, and it wasn't because he was insecure, it was because he deserved it, so she should be able to fuck who she wants. The karmic challenge with that is the girl always goes back to the guy she loves at times and always has to think about it and how good the guy she chose and was with was to her, and how any good man would be destroyed by her. So she'll never be able to actually trust that anyone cares about her any more than using her to fuck her as the dumb cum dumpster she is. And the man she loves, she'll never be able to have respect for that cuck, because anytime she's not feeling what she wants to feel, she's that girl now. Go hang out with the fuck boys, go let her feminist friend gas her up to feel good about being who she was and say every man deserves her to be bad. If she did something wrong, then she should go fuck Barney from How I Met Your Mother, because the guy she was with did something wrong, so now she's just a hoe bag for the street. And I just see a world where there's less need for people to feel the urge to deliver out instant karma, pretend they're God, and because they've got slighted that they're now gonna go get the person that made them feel something they know likey. And use just fucking terrible tactics and be evil fucking scumbag to try to manipulate and control people around you to go hurt the person you don't like. With guys, it tends to be more direct. We'll get into that more when we get into dark psychology, the way girls fight. They make it even worse. We're going to talk about the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. We talked about the energy and how it exists. Now, the concept is to understand that the energy is never really static. Sometimes you can hold the vibration, a frequency, for a longer period of time. You can be sad. But even at times when you're sad, someone could crack a joke and make you laugh and change your vibration. And that's to understand the flow of your energy and how it can shift. People will call that bipolar if you don't get it under control. Essentially, that instability, that emotional charge, that's just a way for the doctors to make their money and the drug dealers to poison you, lower your vibration, and put a governor on it. I talk about it in the mental health and drug crisis epidemic video about The drugs are essentially a governor on a car for a high energy person. Essentially, they prevent your energy from going too high so that you stay maintained at an even keel rather than you naturally doing it yourself by doing the shadow work, by healing. You're just going to turn to some other person who's going to say you're damaged, you're diseased, the other person is the problem, here are drugs. Now you're all better because we've balanced you out with the right dose of fucking the 12 drugs that we put you on, because all the drugs have negative side effects. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Energy is always moving. You should think of it as waves in an ocean. When you have the thought, the wave can come in and it can rush over you, and you just gotta let it wash over you and move on a lot of times, unless you're ready to use that energy. Energy flows towards where you focus the energy on. It's where a lot of therapists are giving everybody if somebody is in your life that's giving you a negative vibration that you don't like, then eliminate them from your life. And now your energy is not going to be focused on that. That's part of the psychological warfare and torture she does on people is, I don't like you, so I'm just going to pretend you don't exist so that I don't have to have the negative emotions associated with remembering that you exist. And I'm going to make sure all of my friends don't like you and have the same negative vibration towards you so that none of them like you either, as best as I can do it in a conniving, evil, psychotic fucking cunt way. How do I transmute your energy from admiring in a positive one to that of a negative, lower vibration towards somebody? That's the strategy of the predator. Knowing that the energy transmutes, you understand it, but do you control it, or does someone else control it, or does it control you? That's the question we're asking in this law here. Why is this law important? Because you can't turn it off. You can't just turn these laws off. You can't say, well, I don't want my energy to flow no more, so I'm just going to turn this law off. Can't fucking do it. You can't fucking do it. These aren't rules you've agreed to with somebody on how to live life. These are, you can't run away from karma. You can't run away from these laws. The energy exists, whether you deny it or supply it. The concept is transmutation is possible. You can change your energy from a lower vibration to a higher vibration. And vice versa, you can, and other people can change your energy into that of a lower vibration. One of my exes said that she can't make me feel stuff, and it's like, your actions make me think things, and then those thoughts make me feel. So you girls can all just deny man's emotions and say they don't exist and they're not real, and that man's the problem, and girl code, girl empowerment, do whatever you want, girl code. But when you make promises to other people and then you go break those promises, they cause pain and suffering on people. It's important to know who has access to your mind, because what their intentions are, whether they're good intended or bad intended, can be irrelevant if the action is and the outcome is that of a negative one. Most people don't give a fuck about other people, they only care about themselves. So we'll also talk about transmutation being possible. We'll dive back into that gratitude journal. Being able to transmute your energy out of that of a negative one can be really easy. All I have to do is go hang out with Ace and Grace, and then all of a sudden I'm grateful that they're with me, and then I don't have to be thinking about that negative thought for the moment. Or even if I'm thinking about that negative thought, I'm also grateful, so my energy is a little bit balanced. Who has access to your mind is important, because you go to the therapist, then they're going to focus on your problems, and then they're going to give you some gassed up. Most of the time, people are just going there to vent and tell their story to somebody and have somebody empathize with them, and then they get to feel good for a little bit, when real healing comes from looking at yourself, finding out why you're causing your own problems and fixing yourself. But therapy says, take these drugs and blame other people for all your problems. That's the American way. And we should really talk about it, because it's a female-dominated profession, psychology. The divine femininity is about making sure you feel good as often as possible, which is great about the divine energy, but it becomes toxic when you're eliminating people from your life and causing chaos and destruction just to make sure you can feel the vibe you want to feel. It destroys community, it destroys relationships. That's what girls do. Girls get into little groups together and they talk shit about men, start sharing secrets, and then the girls start using those secrets to give the girls embarrassed and shamed and whatever else they want to get the girl to feel, and then go play their fucking girl games, their mind control games. We'll get into it later. This is what this whole thing's about, the gaslighting that girls do.
And this is where your bottom has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell?
The girl has to hear from the girl.
It's really important to talk about that. It's a female idea. Two guys can get into a fight and they'll respect each other at some level at the very end of it. But girls, it's never a fair fight. It's always manipulate and be a dirty cunt and lie, cheat, do whatever it takes to win. And those tend to destroy the girl and the whoever she's at war with. That relationship's done. Now it's a recruit team to make sure that I collect all of my friends and they're all on my side. And that's how girls fight, and they just cause destruction and destroy everything. Next page. You are a creator. You get to control this energy in yourself and the energy of those around you. Don't get it twisted. All of your actions affect those around you. All of your thoughts and your feelings and your emotion that you put out in there, all the gossip, all the talk, all the things you say and do, they affect yourself and all the people around you that are associated with the scenarios. And so you get to create how you want this world to go. When you let other people take control of your life and gas you up like these girls do, you get desensitized to reality. And then you only feel during times of your ego being inflated or getting gassed up by fantasies instead of being able to enjoy the simple things in life and how great this world is. Like intimacy in a relationship somehow. Once the energy has been transmuted to no longer having one person being able to satisfy you sexually, to needing your fantasies to be able to be fulfilled, you just become desensitized to a lot of things. Mentally, it's always about the next gas up and how do you get higher than the next high. When fasting is the answer to be able to get high and then rewire your brain back to where you want it to be, where it should be, where you know it should be, the higher self. That if we all could be living a level of in our higher selves rather than most people are just living in their id and saying, I feel, so you have to suffer my feelings all the times that I feel because a doctor gave me a diagnosis and now everyone has to live in this imaginary world. It's a disease rather than just a moment in time or a feeling that needs to be processed and a resolution that needs to be come to so that real healing can be done. When you realize that you're the creator, you just need to understand that you're creating the world around you, one, by your actions, and two, by the people around you and their actions. And by allowing them to do the awful things, he's creating the world around him and she's creating the world around her. And by her filling the room and needing to be the boss and in control and be a fucking cunt all the time and get her way, and everything needs to be her way, she's going to manipulate you, she's going to make you feel good about the answer, she's going to lie and cheat and do whatever it takes to get you to come to the conclusion that she wants. And that's how the predator and the manipulator works. Stop playing the games. That's the only way to protect anyone from this, is by stop playing the predator's game. Perpetual transmutation of energy. We already talked about emotional transmutation. Let's talk about creative expression. How can you draw attention to yourself in the way you want to with your feeling? And then manifestation is putting all of your energy and your feelings into something. So if you want something, then you need to put all of your positive energy towards it. And if you're putting fear and anger and hatred into that bucket, then you're pushing that thing away, essentially. In a way, you're almost preventing yourself from manifesting it. So the goal is, in the transmutation of energy, is to be able to realize that you're living in the wrong frequency or the undesirable frequency, and then figure out how to transmutate your energy into the frequency you desire it to be so that you can create and manifest what you want in this world. We're going to talk about the karmic laws, these universal laws that you can't hide from. Not just to talk about the negative side of them, but how can you use karma in your favor too. The balance comes from when you give, you get. When you give things that people need, they feel good about it. The law of reciprocity comes into play, where the person that's received feels the urge to give back in a way. And they may not always be the ones that give back. The karmic balance can come from somebody knows you did that, and then people hear about that, word spreads. It's how the fuckboys play games too. They make up stories of shit that they never did, and then it gets people thinking better of them. It's just a game of how do people perceive me, and everyone's fake out there. So many fake fucks out there playing games to manipulate others to use and abuse them for their own self-gratification. Accumulated karma, the sum total of all karma accumulated across lifetimes. And that seems that it would come to play as like that TV show, The Good Place. They calculated the good and bad that you've done. And if you had a certain score, you went to heaven, and a certain lower score, you went to hell. Then there's current karma recurs to the proportion of the accumulated karma that is ripe to manifest in the present. That idea isn't just about getting into the afterlife. It's about you're building up a negative karma and it's going to crash down on you at some point. Like, it may not have hit you yet, but it's fucking coming, and you know it's fucking coming too. And then future karma is just talking about how your present moments are creating your future karma. Nature's way of finding balance in this world, but people take it into their own hands and see themselves as the one that needs to be delivering the justice for whatever reason. The ability to listen to the cosmos and understanding the flow of nature so that you can open it and it can be harnessed. It's understanding yourself and how much you've put into the karmic toll and knowing what's coming your way. And when you know that there's a lot of good coming your way, then you get to live life in a peaceful, calm, and be able to create and manifest. In Hinduism and Buddhism, they call it liberation when you understand karma. It's attained when the soul breaks free from the cycles by transcending karma and realizing its unity with the divine. Transcending means to be above it and see it from a 1,000-foot view, because to be able to look down at it, see what's going on and how it's going to play out and what potential future outcomes from the scenario are going to be. And then Buddhism, cessation of all suffering and the end of karmic cycles achieved through detachment, mindfulness, and enlightenment. And then the Bible's talks about you reap what you sow. Goes around, comes around in a sort of way. Is hard to figure out God's plan. The law of divine oneness. Everything in the universe is interconnected. Any thought, action, or feeling may have an effect on the whole. This interconnectedness of all things, how, like I was talking about, how we affect the things around us by our actions and our feelings and our thoughts. And the people around us, they feel and see and sense it, however they sense it. And then they respond accordingly to maintain the peace and their own happiness in life. It's the way our humans are designed. Mammals think in general, maybe all life. At its core, this law teaches that all beings, objects, thoughts, and actions are connected. What you do, think, and feel has an impact not just on you, but on the collective consciousness and the universe at large. Unity consciousness. The law asks us to move beyond illusion of separateness and recognize the divine essence in all things. Every person, animal, plant, and even inanimate object are part of the same universal. The objects have energy based on the perception of the interpreter, I guess. So, like, a rose can mean love and cause and effect at a cosmic level. Every expressed thought or intention you admit creates ripples that affect the universe. Even seemingly insignificant actions like offering a smile or practicing gratitude can have far-reaching effects. That's hard to explain. It's how your thoughts, your emotions expressed out, they say, have effect on everybody. It just ripples out. We'll get into it later when we talk about gossip and how everyone talks. Everyone's trying to figure this world out, and some people are trying to figure each other out and love talking about people. The law of correspondence teaches the connection between the pattern in our inner world and those in the outer world. This law reveals that circumstance and events in your external environment reflect what is happening within you on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. This one teaches us what's happening to us in life is a reflection on the things we do, think, and feel in this world. Our inner world reflects our outer world. This dives into self-fulfilling prophecies. Essentially, the more you think about something, the more it's going to come true. One example is I would notice every time a long-term relationship would get to a point where I would think about her cheating more often. It's hard to tell if I was thinking about her cheating more often because she was already dating her friend behind my back, and she didn't cheat because she didn't fuck him until the day she ended the relationship and verbally communicated it to me. But it's okay for her to go and be dating guys behind my back, and it's just friends being friends, so it's not dating. Girl power, women empowerment, yay feminism, that's what feminism is about. Make sure girls can be lusted after and still date while being engaged and in relationships. And it's fine if they date the people, because it's not dating because they're just friends, and only dating after the relationship end and wanting to fuck for a little while and then move on from each other as friends, still friends. Yay, women! Girl power! Microcosm and macrocosm. The universe operates on a system of fractals. Smaller patterns reflect larger ones. What happens on a personal level often mirrors larger universal or social patterns. Many of the external experiences we face are dictated by subconscious programming. To change your outer reality, you must address and reprogram these inner beliefs and patterns. That's one of the things that it's important to talk about, is addressing those patterns that cause you to stay in the loop and keep getting pulled into the loop. Because when we get into triggers, once you figure out how you get pulled in the loop and what you do once you get pulled into the loop, then to figure out how to get yourself out of the loop and prevent yourself from falling into it the next time you get triggered is kind of the goal of this outline. Responsibility for your reality. Take responsibility for your own life and your own actions. So this rolls into the law of attraction, your desire, raising your energy and raising your vibration, feeling it and wanting it, needing it, and making it a part of who you are. And then believing it, having faith, and knowing that you deserve it because you're going to work towards getting it, and making sure all your actions, your feelings, and your emotion are aligned towards getting that. And then detaching from the expectations of it being exactly the way you want it, and understanding it's going to come the way it comes. Then being able to roll with it and get into the flow of things is a quick and easy way to explain it. I have a longer video on it if you want to know more. And then we'll dive into the law of inspired action a little deeper too, because the action isn't just about going through the motions and acting it out, but it's about being animated with energy, knowing it, believing it, feeling it, making it known outwardly. And then make sure all your actions are done with a higher vibration. Because when you do things with the higher vibration, people are more attracted. It's a more attractive frequency, and you're more likely to get help. The law of inspired action, people kind of just seeing how you want it so bad that they want it for you too. That's all I want to talk about here. This fucking place is cold as fuck. We're in a fucking cloud. Have a video later. We'll go on all the other universal laws in detail and how they're interconnected with one another, because they all kind of overlap. Dark psychology. We're going to define it quickly as the study of manipulation in the ways to psychologically influence other people, with the idea that all is mind. All of your feelings are based on a thought that you have. Everything's in the mind. The idea is to get other people to think thoughts that you want them to think. The movie Inception goes deep into the trance state and the theta brainwave state. Essentially, it's the state of mind where you're completely relaxed, where you're allowing information to absorb it more like a sponge rather than breaking it down for accuracy. The goal is to get people into that trance state. Drugs are a way to get people into it. Also, you have to be somebody that you want to be around and give in drugs with.
The old story was, if you took a little drop, no, it was on the head of a pin.
That's right.
And
Drop
you put
it
it
in
in
a
the drink.
Coca-Cola. Don't matter.
It doesn't make it, and the girl would drink it, and
she's yours.
Hello, America.
The goal is to get someone to be friends, and then once you're friends with them, you can get them comfortable enough to take your opinions and listen to you and hear you out. The goal of the fuckboy and the sororities are to be friends. It's just who they are as people. It's their life to play pretend they like everybody and just say and do what it takes to make sure you stay a part of the likable friend group so you can be welcome at the party. So they're just wired, and it's how they're trained, and then they just become these people. I don't want to necessarily say it's a bad thing. It's just the nefarious ones, the ones that are just fucking cunt pieces of shit that don't care about anyone or anything. That's what we're talking about. It's good to have that group of people to talk to and get your ideas from. Awesome. And get feedback from, and then there's also always going to be like snakes and poisonous assholes around too. And those people change. It's not like they're always poisonous assholes. It's like you just have a feeling to be mean, then somebody can just use these tactics to start fights. A lot to do with psychological fighting, essentially. I don't want to say it's only female, because men can learn the skills and the arts as well. It's just most men have no need to, because we can just be direct and get shit done without having to manipulate people into using them to get on our side. To start a whole war of destroy everyone's mind around you so that you can recruit a team to dislike and play mental games on people and destroy friendships and relationships and lower people to the base vibrations. We're gonna dive into triggers. Essentially, a trigger, most of the time, an experience that evokes a strong emotional response. Our society is getting real shit by leaning into it too much. It's too much. They've gone overboard. The pendulum has swung too far from toxic masculinity to toxic femininity, where they're fucking having cry rooms in schools so that whoever's got a feeling can go say, I can't handle this, or no, it's what she says, they'll perform better if they get to have a cathartic cry prior to taking an exam. It's not necessarily wrong. It's weakness to need to rely on it. The goal is to gain power, and power isn't gained by crying. By crying because you're too emotionally overwhelmed. And this is the problem too, is people that are stronger mentally and emotionally won't need to cry, and we can just move forward and keep plugging away and get shit done without wasting our fucking time in a cry room, fucking having a good old-fashioned cry about it and gossiping to our gal pals about what's making us feel to fucking day. When you become this emotional person that needs to lean into the feelings in order to accomplish tasks and get shit done, you're just weak and typically able to be used and abused a lot easier. It means never following your dreams, because there's always somebody else that's going to implement their ideas into your head and change your dreams from what you had them and what you were building to what they want you to build. And they'll use these dark psychological ways to manipulate your brain to destroy that which you care about, destroy the admiration, the love, the esteem you have for that thing, that person, in order to make you not want and care about that for a period of time, because you never stop wanting that thing, and love in a relationship never disappears. It's just, how do you make sure you only highlight all the things that make the vibration not love, make the frequency something that's anything but what would make the relationship strong and healthy and everyone involved happy. Anger, guilt, fear, shame, lust, those types of feelings that they try to get you to think ideas towards who they want you to, so that you're destroying, lowering the vibration rather than raising it. I want to talk about access points, trauma from past events, current events, potential future events, traumatic experiences, and things that evoke the feeling. The thing is you become friends with these people, so you just talk and share stories. Hard to know who's gonna turn around and start using the stories that they told you to make you feel negative ideas towards who they want you to. It's just a game to some of these girls. Just a lot of these girls is, I don't want you to like this person, I don't like no more, so let's team up against them. And if you're not on board, the toxic, really bad ones, they know these strategies and they know how to use them. And the goal is to get yourself stronger mentally so that you're prepared to respond accordingly when they actually try to use these tactics. It's a friend or family member, so you don't necessarily want to destroy the relationship, but you got to be strong enough to know they're doing it and not let them program you to be what they want you to be, and try to reprogram you and stick up for yourself and say, don't fucking play those games on me. Don't fucking be that fucking dirty cunt that's always reminding me of why we hate men. Why do we hate men today, and we're staying strong girl power? Make sure we always hate man and always have negative frequency and vibration towards man until fuckboy comes along with some drugs and a fucking game to play, and we'll have fun fucking the douchebag for a little while then we go back to pretending all men are trash and useless and always fucking berate and tear men down, and it's a fucking game, ha ha ha, we don't fucking need men in America, yay women, fucking girl power! What else we got on triggers? Another access point is the needs analysis that we talk about. How do you get your needs met, and who's helping getting those needs met? The easiest ones are your base level urges, food, water, who's giving you some food, snacks. When you can figure out and get an idea of what someone's esteem needs are and what makes them tick and what makes them happy in this world, then you can really dive into someone's mind and really start working with their energy and their emotions. A lot of times it's needs not being met by parent, significant other, whoever is given that need. These are all natural things that we do to show that we care. Some people make it their life's mission to pretend they care about people and then use them for their own interests, whatever that may be. It doesn't always have to be just to get sex out of them. It can be to get money out of them. It's rarely to get just sex out of them. Most of the time it's to get far more out of them, and then sex is just natural, what guys and girls do when they're around. And when a woman's empowered, she'll just be a fucking skank and fuck whoever her girlfriends, make her feel good about being a slut for. The love languages, the access points. How do you get somebody to feel like you care about them and want to reciprocate the good feelings back to you? Those love languages aren't real, but they're real because they do trigger the emotional response accordingly. The games are to always be given the good vibe for your target. The love languages are ways to make you feel, and those are then access points to gain comfort, to be able to get you into the lower vibration, the more relaxed state of consciousness, so that you're more susceptible to manipulation and being used. And I don't want to say that being used is a bad thing, because being used feels good. There's no such thing as altruism. People don't do anything unless they're getting something out of it. We should also highlight, this is what's really important to talk about actually, is when you're in an emotional state, when your energy is really high, your mind can shut off, and then you tap into that id, that animal mind, and you're not thinking things through. And so the goal is to get people feeling so strongly towards the thing that they're not even going to accept anything you say isn't even going to be fucking acknowledged, because they already fucking feel it and they don't change their fucking mind. One of my exes was hanging out with one of her feminist cunt friends and the fuckboys, talking a story about how it didn't even happen, but it doesn't even matter because she felt it already, so who cares? She's already upset at me because she felt it, and you know what? Girl power. And it's all my fault, and the girls are going to stick together and team up against man, and it's my fault for not making her feel good while she's tearing me down for something that never fucking happened. But all the girls are on her team for being mad at me and making sure they're gassing up and getting me to fucking do something so I can make her feel better about something I didn't fucking do. Girl power. Yay, women. Team up against man and say why man's not good enough because girl had a thought that wasn't fucking real. Girl power. Yay, women empowerment. Feminism. These fucking predators, these fucking bottom feeders, and I call them fucking bottom feeders because they gotta drag people to the lower vibration to be able to use them. They're not empowering women to go chase their dreams and be strong and achieve success in all the ways in this world. It's tear man down so that we can empower women. The goal of these predators are to get you emotional so that you're not gonna even rationalize it. They do it in politics, the mainstream medias all the time. It's always get you to feel and then you'll respond accordingly. They do it to anyone that's in a cult. So if something happens to a girl, girls stick together. Blacks, if something happens to a black person, they all can riot in the street now, and all the bad things we do is justified because we can respond in any way because something bad happened. So this dives into neuro-linguistic programming, study of language and how to use it to be able to get what you want in this world is an important tool that everyone should be studying and learning. These dark psychological study that I'm talking about aren't. That's awesome. They aren't things that you should be like. When I asked my mom to get me the book Dark Psychology, she refused to get it because it had the word dark in it. And you gotta learn these strategies, how manipulation works, so that they're not being used against you. You can't just say, oh, let's just pretend they don't fucking exist. Don't learn it. Hide it from our children so other people know how to manipulate them and they don't know how to protect themselves. That's what good parenting is. Don't read the book. Don't learn what it is. Just say, I'm not doing it because I felt so, and I'm mom, so I'm always right. Deal with it. The neuro-linguistic programming is how ideas impact your emotions, and then how does the person that's having an emotion respond. We'll dive into it next video when we get into cognitive behavioral therapy. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions, how they're all interconnected. The goal is to learn that about people. Strategies of neuro-linguistic programming, mirroring and matching. We talk about like attracts like, so the goal is to mirror and mimic the other people. These can be simple tasks like the tone and rhythm of their voice or their mannerisms and how they sit and walk, to try to do it without being noticed that you're doing it. Like we said, like attracts like, so these are just tactics to attract. Then anchoring, here's another one that they do. Touch. When you touch somebody, you can make them feel. It doesn't have to be sexual touch. It can be any sort of touch. It can be the touch on an arm or the back or different places. If you want to get a girl fired up, you can touch her and she'll have to respond and realize somebody's touching her. Same with guys, no different. Touching creates an instant connection. Now what are you going to do once you've initiated that connection? Whether somebody wants it or not, it doesn't matter. Once you touch them, you've connected with that person and you can't undo what's done. Reframing, we talked about the transmutation of energy. This is the same concept of reframing. The predator wants to reframe anything that they don't want you to like. They want to reframe it for you to not like it. Whatever they got to say and do to use you to make sure that you're on their team. And then do all the love language-y things and all what's important to make sure you maintain the facade that they care about you. For as long as they can maintain it until they're bored with maintaining it and just give up, or they get caught in a lie or whatever happens. Karma always comes around, like we said. It's just they can't put up these games forever, and girls just love playing make-believe. It's their favorite fucking games. Play make-believe, my imagination is real, blah blah blah, girl power, women empowerment. Neurolinguistic programming. The good free framing, though, you can turn a problem into a challenge, and then it turns into inspired action because now you're more motivated. And those are the positive sides of these things, too, that I don't want to fall short on highlighting, too, because the goal is to talk about these dark psychological tactics as something to be afraid of other people using, but to just be aware of you're living life on your terms. The bad ones, it's just a game of get good at shrinking other people, giving the good vibes only for as long as you can, while directing bad vibes towards other people by calling them narcissists and nerds and losers and not cool or bad for one reason or another, whatever stories you can spew. Being friends, being fucking friends. I want to lead that into mind control. We're going to go on a side tangent. One of my ex's mom said she's a brilliant woman, as if her daughter couldn't make up her own mind. By me insinuating that she has friends relentlessly poisoning her mind with things that they could think of to make her think negative and have negative feelings towards me. That fuckboys are just trying to fuck every little slut they can fuck. The feminist cunts are just out there being feminists, hating on men. And then girlfriends get together and talk and share ideas. And then when one nefarious one wants to fucking make it their mission to destroy.
And this is why your ball has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. The girl has to hear from the girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell?
It's hypnosis, the theta brainwave state. The more relaxed you are, the more susceptible you are to somebody else's input being heard and taken seriously, being felt, and just, especially when alcohol's involved, then your mind shut off. So the ideas just kind of go in your head and you can't really do anything about it but just feel them. That doesn't make people stupid. Everybody is susceptible to these things that I'm talking about. It's the human experience. It's part of the human condition. You can't say, I don't have to follow these universal laws. Karma isn't real, so I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist. But that ain't real life. Being the narrator, your own life is something everybody should strive to be. Watching a video how these cum dumpsters out here. There was a panel of girls and they asked them all if they'd rather be the king's mistress or peasant's wife.
Would you rather be the king's mistress or a peasant's wife?
King's mistress.
Also king's mistress.
Yeah, king's mistress.
Same.
Peasant's wife.
King's mistress.
King's mistress.
Are you? Raise a hand.
There was like 1 out of 6 said rather be with a man just to be happy living life with the man they love rather than just being some fuck toy for some douchebag with money. It's fun, you know. Free drugs and money to be a fucking skank, a cum dumpster for some douchebag. That's what most girls would prefer in this American culture.
King's mistress. Also King's mistress.
Yeah, King's mistress. Same. Peasant's wife.
King's mistress.
King's mistress.
Isn't it fucking great? Isn't it fucking great? Women are so awesome. You just gotta assume these fucking bitches are ready to fucking throw away a man for somebody with more money. And they all got a team of fucking cunt pieces of shit that are right behind them, coaching them on to be an empowered fucking woman. Go be a slut for that guy with money. Be empowered. Have some fun. Girlfriends told you about some good dick, so go get that good dick and the other good dick, and just go get good dick all the time. Just have fun chasing good dick. It's fun. What an American woman. You guys are great. Women are so good and respectful. We should respect women. That's what women deserve, respect. Destroy man so they can go fuck some douchebag with money, so they can go fuck Jeffrey Epstein and make their girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell proud. Yay, women. Yay, fucking women. Anyway, music and mantras, I want to talk about them because music essentially is mantras. It's setting the mood and setting the vibe. It's all subconsciously done as well. So the tone, the pace, the melody can all set the mood. And then the lyrics that are put in set into your back of your mind, into your subconscious, and it becomes, it doesn't become a part of who you are. You just become desensitized, numb, programmed to just think a certain way. Music puts you in that relaxed state. It can tap you into that trance-like state. And you can be around friends and just chilling, having fun, relaxing. Not really care about anyone or anything but what happens in that moment. And then you can let the moment take you. And then what's destroyed when you do that? Your soul gets destroyed. And anyone that you destroyed, you destroy their soul too. Destroy who they are. The fabric of reality is shifted. Because Ghislaine Maxwell coached her to say she needs to go find herself. She doesn't know who she is unless she's getting naked and fucking whoever Ghislaine Maxwell's coached her out to want. Don't want that guy you've been with for 6 years. No. This guy's got more money. Look, he'll buy you free drugs, he'll give you a good vibe, and he's good dick. I've tried him. He runs through a bunch of sluts in this bar. You're his one and only now. Or you should just go have fun riding as many cocks as you want, because until you find the one, that's right. Until you find the one, you should fuck as many cocks as you want. And make sure you destroy the one that you did choose for 6 years and have been happy with until feminists showed up and decided you needed new cock. You needed new cock because this cock's not feminist approved. No. This man needs to be destroyed. Not feminist approved. He talks about how girls can be fucking downright mean pieces of shit. You're not allowed to do that. No. You just gotta pretend girls are nice. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta play make-believe. That's what the feminist code is. Play fucking pretend my imagination is real, or else I'm gonna destroy your fucking life. Create another fucking skank. Another whore for the streets for some fucking piece of shit with money to share with other fucking pieces of shit with money. I want to talk about yogis. Their goals are to get you into these trance-like states, essentially. If they're good, they're getting you in the zone. Meditation, spiritual practices, they use mantras to calm the mind down, so that's the goal of it. You can use mantras for yourself to make you feel any on the spectrum of emotions. And music and art and all these different things. And repetition, the same thing over and over and over again. It's an important aspect of it. Song, you might not like it at first, but it can grow on you once you hear it over and over and over again. That's the goal of these predators, is to just repetition. Affirmation. Who's affirming you? Who's validating you? And why are they validating you? A lot of these girls just have a team of supporters that validate everything they do. My ex's mom said that my ex needs to think she's right about everything, even if she's wrong. That's the confidence she needs in this world. So she needs to just wander on through life being wrong, thinking she's right, and making sure everyone around her play along. Because that's what confidence is in the girl world. Which is a fucking shame, which is why these girls, I don't want to say girls, but people in general, if you just go about life that way, I don't know how you do it. Live in a world where you fight to be wrong about something. It's just weird. Affirmations on repeat can become beliefs that become ways to manifest in this world. If somebody keeps making you think a particular thought, there's a reason why they keep reminding you of it. And it's for their own self-serving reasons. It's not for you. People aren't altruistic. These girls aren't out here protecting women. These girls are out here just destroying men because it's fun for them, because they love doing it. They enjoy feeling the power of destroying another human being like a hunter after a kill. These fucking activist cunts out here, they just paparazzi pieces of shit just seeking for attention so that they can fucking destroy, so that they can gain something from it. Bottom feeding fucking scum. Psychology, I don't want to say all of them, very few of them trying to find actual healing. They're trying to make you feel healed for a moment so that you keep paying them money or keep paying them attention or keep paying them whatever they're getting from giving you the vibe. Whatever your gal pal's getting from gassing you up to go be a skank. Whatever Ghislaine Maxwell's coached you into hating man for, hating the man you love and not admiring him anymore. Go cuck him. And then after you realize the guy you cucked him with is just a fucking douchebag and you're a piece of shit, instead of making things right, no, now you can't fucking respect somebody that you fucking fuck around on. No, just keep being a slut. That's who you are. Yay, women. Gaslighting. Create that emotional charge. How do you manage to do it? And what's the goal and the outcome of it? Gaslighting example is The Controlling Mother, where they make you doubt your perception of reality by belittling the things that you care about that make you feel good, by denying the truth and altering the reality too. So they'll do something and then say they didn't do it. That's a prime example of gaslighting. I did something, now I'm going to make you feel crazy about it and pretend it never happened. The goal of gaslighting is alter your perception, to alter the state of reality in one quick poof. Girls love getting gassed up too. One of the big problems with getting gassed up is that it just fizzles out. So you just keep going back to the same people to get this feeling, this need met, because you can't fulfill it yourself. You can't feel the self-worth and get that from internally. We're all human beings and we rely on a community, and intimacy and friendship and family and all that good stuff. So, and the problem is these girls gas each other up on things that aren't real, and then the Adam and Eve story kicks in where Eve's mind's getting poisoned by the snake. She's getting manipulated, and then Adam, the fucking oaf, just does whatever the fuck Eve wants. The goal is to create the negative frequency so that your mind shuts off to the thing that you were thinking about and just gives up on it. And then once you give up on that, then there's an opportunity to fill your mind with something else now. Now let's get new guy. That's the feminist code. Now that we've destroyed man, let's bring in new guy. Forget about old guy. I got a video I'll share of one of the girls. She's proud of herself saying this shit.
Just a gentle reminder, if you're not nice to your girlfriend, I'll be nice to her. I'll be so nice to you. You won't even remember him. She won't even remember you.
If you're not nice enough, she'll destroy your life and she'll go make sure your girlfriend, your lover, the love of your life, make sure you don't exist. She'll make sure that she helps her forget about the man that loves her so you can be a fuck toy. And then how do you transmutate the energy? Now that we brainwashed you, now we go add an input what we want inputted in. Now we go introduce you to Jeffrey Epstein. No, it's not sex trafficking. We just introduced you to him. We're friends. We're all friends. It's just friends being friends, guys. That's what friends do. That's what empowered women, friends and empowered women and feminists do. Go destroy man and then just go fuck around and introduce her to all the new fuck toys. She's just a fucking skank for the fucking street. Having fun, that's what girls do for fun. Guys go do loser stuff like play video games with their friends and other stuff, and girls go to the club and they take off any semblance of being in a relationship so that they can go fuck around and cheat and date, because you know dating's fun and it's not cheating to date because they don't fuck until that night she broke up with you. It's fine. They weren't dating. They were just friends. Now they're fucking. Fuck dolls and dipsticks. What are you gonna do? That's just the games that they fucking play. How do you turn the fucking girl into a cum dumpster for fucking everybody? A public cum dumpster to be shared, passed around like the little fucking whore she is. Yay, women. Women empowering women. That's what it is. Women empowerment.
Just a gentle reminder, you won't even remember him. She won't even remember you.
Women fucking empowerment. That's what we're talking about. What a great fucking world. Women fucking empowered. All teaming up in fucking groups. Wise man shit. Why do we destroy this one? Why do we give up on that one? Why do we destroy this one? One after another. And it's never enough until they destroy every man in the world, I guess. Who knows? It's fucking cunts will never be fucking happy, so they're just always out there causing chaos and destruction and not giving a fuck who they destroy. No, they're the good guys. You did something bad and they found out about it. They pried and pried and pried. No, they were friends. They were friends just talking, so they're protecting her. That's what they're doing. She's a protector.
You won't even remember him. 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 She won't even remember you.
Yay, women! Yay, fucking women! Feminism. Isn't it great, G? I'm glad you don't have any feminist friends. The goal of these predators are to associate every lower frequency towards man. And then they're the ones providing the high vibration and giving you the good things. All the fun, all the drugs and the fucking. They're the ones that get to now provide all of the happy, all the good stuff, while always associating lower frequencies towards other. The goal of these predators are to associate every lower frequency, and then they're the ones providing the high vibration and giving you the good things. All the fun, all the drugs and the fucking. They're the ones that get to now provide all of the happy, all the good stuff, while always associating lower frequencies towards other. How do we push this one away? By calling them a narcissist, by calling them this, and by calling them that, misogynist and sexist, and all these things, you know, because you're sexist if you talk about reality. Once you're in an emotional state, the rational mind shuts off. The heart and the brain communicate with each other, just like any part of your body. Like when G bites me, it sends a signal to my brain that I've been bit, that she's got me. And so the different parts of the body communicate with the brain. The heart seems to be the one that's just always associating with one another. How do you protect yourself from gaslighters? Everyone has their mechanism. Some people play along. It says just anything anyone says, just nod your head, even if you don't agree with them. Just validate them. Girl code. And then you can go on about your day not worrying about them or anything that they said or did, and continue as you were, as the good person you are. And they just ignore the gaslighters. Problem with that is you can ignore them and run away and pretend they don't exist, or go into the recesses of your brain where you're living in multiple worlds, because that's just the name of the game when you're that person. When you lie and have no conviction to the truth and reality. My godmother does it with my mom, and it fucking pisses me off. My mom will say something that's just outrageously wrong, and my godmother will just validate it and be like, yep. Let's make sure everyone's happy. Sure everyone's believing their little imagination is real, so the energy in the room is good in the moment. Who cares about what comes after we validated something that was false? And that's not the issue. The issue is man being upset that girl was wrong and then executed on being wrong, and has a team of supporters.
Just a gentle reminder, you won't even remember him. Just a gentle reminder, you won't even remember him. You won't even remember him. You won't even remember him. Just a gentle reminder, you won't even remember him. She won't even remember you.
I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell?
Because they're just on the fucking team of play along. Those types of people don't necessarily destroy our society, but they sit back and allow the people to destroy our society, and they validate them and support them. Mostly how like the Nazi concentration camps could happen. It's just everyone validating each other without actually diving into what's really going on, figuring shit out and finding a fucking resolution before war happens. No, we just let a cunt run around being fucking dumb cunts, and no one fucking says, hey, is this real or not? You fucking lying, backstabbing bitch. You fucking dirty piece of fucking shit. No one cares about it. Whatever girl wants. Happy wife, happy fucking life. Some people fight. Some people eliminate those people from their lives, which is all just ways to keep their peace in their own head, rather than standing up for yourself, standing up for the righteous reason rather than whatever feels good in the moment. Problem with having a coping mechanism for gaslighters rather than combating it, putting an end to it, is they never stop. It's not like it's an incident where they made a mistake and they accidentally gaslit. It's who Kenzie and Jessica are as people.
Just a little reminder, you won't even remember him. She won't even remember you.
So girls are happy, because that's all we fucking care about. Make sure women have good fucking feelings. The way you can protect yourself really from this stuff is becoming emotionally strong, do the shadow work. Learn what those triggers are and why those are triggers. Learn what the reality of the world is, and instead of just playing along. And then the problem is when you challenge these types of people, they fight for their fucking lie. They fight for what's wrong and poison everyone's mind around them to be wrong and to be angry at the wrong things, so that they're all mad at the victim rather than the predator. These fucking predator scum are fucking experts at it. They love it. It's just a game. It's who they are as people. It's not like all those bad kids learned how to be good. No, they just learned how to hide that they're fucking bad and get better at being fucking bad and playing fucking make-believe. Get better at the things you set your mind to. If you're putting your whole life and your dedication is how do I manipulate? How do I play pretend all my fucking life? It's just a roller coaster of fucking misery for those people. And then every now and again, they have a good feeling inside. Gaslighting leads into the other types of manipulation, like love bombing. Love bombing is doing all the love language shit for somebody to make them feel the said person doing the love language shit is a way to show that you love someone and get their affection back, because people mirror what you show them. So if you show them aggression, they'll be on the scale of defense against aggression. And if you show them love and affection, they'll be attracted inward and want to show that love and affection backward. Love bombing, that's gassing people up to feel that love and affection quality in the hopes they reciprocate it back towards you. It's a hard one to not. So when somebody's just constantly giving you attention and you decently like each other, it's hard not to think those thoughts and feel those feelings. The fuckboys know the games. Play it, pretend you're friends, and try to get close to them, get them comfortable. Do the love bombing while you're doing the same thing to like 10, 15, 30 girls. As many as you can fucking find to play your fucking game. And all the dumb cum dumpsters love to play along because they got their gal pals empowering them to go play fun with the fuckboy. Have fun with the fuckboy. That's what we do. Empower fucking women. Yeah, they fucking play. All these fucking sluts out here will go fuck anyone that gives them a good fucking vibe because they're empowered by their slut friend. And everyone's like, yup, that's what we do. That's what we fucking do here. All the girls are destroying every man's fucking world so they can go be a whore for some make-believe piece of shit. And yep, that's just what we do. Empowered fucking women. That's right. Yay, America. Negging is negging is another example of gaslighting. Was this a book somebody told me that one of the examples they used in this book was asking a girl how often she dyes her hair, because then subtle gets her off guard and makes her a little self-conscious because she then has to think about herself. But it's not necessarily thinking about herself in any sort of bad way. What another example of negging? Subtle insult, I don't know. Something that'll give them the negative emotion. And then you can transmute that energy by doing the love bombing type things too. It's whatever games you guys play. To transmute the energy back to a positive one. Because even if she gets mad at you, it doesn't matter. The energy is always fucking moving. So get the person into the vibration you want them and then maintain that vibration. Getting somebody upset with negging is just a way to amplify the energy. It's tricky because you can do it in relationships and it keeps things fun and exciting. It makes each other know that you're paying attention, because if you're good at negging, you know everything about the person you're with, so you know what gets them mad and you can poke at those things and it'll just make them remind that you exist and then transmute the energy to a positive one, and it's fun. And then a feminist finds out and she's like, no, you're not allowed to have fun. Only women are allowed to have fun. We're destroying man's life now. And we're going to try to poison this girl against you. And we're going to try to destroy her mind against you. And let her go fuck Andy Taint behind your back. And it's not cheating because she didn't break up with you until that day out of some bullshit never fucking happened. But you're not good enough because you don't make enough money. And he got free drugs and free money. And she'll let her go be naked on a boat. And she'll go pass her around and share her with all his friends too. It's just fun to have her fuck around. He likes her fucking around. It's fun to be cucked. They like it, so she's just having fun being that fucking slut whore while he's collecting money, actually, because that's how you pimp these fucking dumb dumpsters out. Yeah, you give me this grand, I'll give you this fucking NFT, and you can have sex with my fucking cum dumpster. Yay, women, empowered women out here, feminism, women empowering women, that's what it's all about. Yay, women, fuck who you want. Fuck who you want, you dumb sluts. Fucking whores. Gossip, that's one we can talk about. Gossip's one that you can't protect yourself from. You girls, they do this, and the fuckboys jump in. And it's hard because friends, you talk about each other and keep up on how things are. Call my buddy up and I'll ask him how his family's doing and what's going on in their life too, because I care about them as well. I just don't talk to them all that often. Give me a debrief on it, and that's how people keep in touch. It's great, but girls, it's not really like that. What's the new juicy tip of the day? Well, they just gossip and slander anyone that they can get attention by talking shit. A lot of them get sucked into it, and it's a dynamics they have with certain friends, not other friends. And it's certain girls that it's just who they fucking are as people. The gossip is recruiting a team of supporters in the dark psychological world, essentially. It's about recruiting supporters, amplifying problems by making everyone a part of it, and then you're in control. You get to suppress dissent. Gossip, how do you protect yourself from the gossip? You can do it for so long. The gossip doesn't fucking faze me. And then in the most difficult time of their life, in some transition from school to college or college to business, they were just hanging out with some drug dealers and these types of people. It doesn't happen until they become friends with that person and someone close to them that they care about that can get them into these modes of infidelity. And they know how to play these emotional games of always act like they're the protector and the hero by talking shit and gaslighting everybody, and try to mirror and mimic what emotion you're supposed to show and feel. And if you do it the best, then you're the best of all of the girls and you win. And you win the, I don't know, being the most girl of the day. I pretended to have the same feeling as you, or I shared the same feeling as you today. Girl power, we're on the same team, and because guys don't play the game, they're not welcome in, and only the fuckboys that play the game are allowed. Fucking girls. Women empowerment, that's what women empowerment is. If you're not being empathetic and playing along with our fucking feelings, then you don't fucking exist, man. Who cares about what reality is? Girl power. Deceptive commitment. It's like all these fuckboys out here that these cum dumpsters are hanging out with, having their fun with, trying to collect as many cocks as they can, make their girlfriends happy and have fun, you know. Responsibilities, oh my god, that's the end of the world. We can't have responsibilities, that's not fun. I want to be a cum dumpster, so we're gonna blame man for not doing everything. Man didn't do everything, so I'm gonna go play with somebody's dick that pretends they're gonna do those things for me, but never fucking will, because they got all of their money and all of their fucking clout and everything by being a fucking pile of shit and only caring about themselves and only doing what they want when they want and not giving a fuck about anybody else. The fucking Andy Taints of this world.
Would you rather be the king's mistress or a peasant's wife?
King's mistress. Also king's mistress.
Yeah, king's mistress.
Same.
Peasant's wife.
King's mistress.
King's mistress.
Are you? Raise a hand.
Being a cum dumpster for someone with money is more desirable than being a wife and being committed and loyal to somebody and trying to build yourself out of poverty and to something more, build your happy life. But we just blame man for not being good enough, and girl can go upgrade man by going fucking somebody with more money and drugs. That's just what their fucking life is. It's who they are as people. It's their whole life revolves around is I gotta go to work so that I can have money, so that I can go play pretend, so that girls will like me for as long as I can fuck them and then discard so that I can go move on. And girls know that's what's going on, and they don't care. They're having fun. Having fucking around is fun. It feels good to fuck, so who cares? So who cares if you're a dumb fucking whore, backstabbing cunt pile of shit? And all these fuckboys know it too. They're like, I would never commit to these fucking dumb cunts. They just broke up with their man to go fuck me. They fucked me the day that they broke up with their man. They start fucking around. These dumb fucking whores, they know what these girls are. They're not playing their fucking game. No real man's playing their fucking game. They're all fake as fuck. And all these dumb whores love playing make-believe. Like we said, it's their favorite fucking game. Play make-believe. Play pretend. Let's go play dolls. Let's go play our imaginations real. And let's team up against man and destroy man so we can go be whores. Yay, fucking women! Playing hard to get intimacy as a tool is something you do in a relationship withholding love and affection until somebody complies with your demands. It's a way to try to train and manipulate the other person into complying with you, which I think isn't necessarily the end of the world to do. With strategies to, like, we're not going to Pound Town until the dishes are done is not necessarily the end of the world, but to say I don't love you anymore and I'm mad at you and we're just going to live in this negative vibration of anger towards you until you comply, now you're talking about toxic femininity and being a dumb fucking cunt piece of fucking shit. That's when women become toxic in their fucking feelings. It's not just women. How do you control other people is by playing to their emotions. That's what we're talking about. How can you use these tools for yourself as well? And how to know that people are using them against you. And then, are you even considering whether or not you're toxic for using any of these strategies to fucking torture and torment other people for your own self-interest? Trauma bonding. It's a way to manipulate somebody into thinking a thought that evokes an emotional response of empathy or sympathy, level of human care. Easy example is suicidal ideations. We all think about death from time to time. Like, I'm driving down the road and I'll think about driving off of a cliff, but it's not a suicidal ideation. It's a way to say there's danger, so be careful. The fuckboys and the skanks love to play, oh, live in my feelings. Oh my God, it was such a scary emotion that, oh my gosh, we need to feel it. We need to feel it. Rather than just moving on, it's just a game to try to say we have like feelings, because look, I have suicidal ideations too. Well, they don't even have to have the suicidal ideations themselves. It's a easy way to trigger that emotional response that you want to see in other people. That person has gained any level of care for you, then they'll generally respond accordingly. Talking about your past trauma and sharing that as a way to build a connection. All these fuck dolls and fucking dipsticks out here do the trauma bonding. It's a way to build a quick fabricated connection, a way to build that energetic bond between people. They think it's building deep connections, deep spiritual connections with one another because they just share their past trauma that they haven't done shit to solve themselves so that the next person doesn't have to go through the same fucking bullshit. No. They just like sharing the feelings so they can have a nice fun fuck and then move on to the next one they share the same feelings with and do it over and over and over again until everyone fucking dies miserable. Queen of Hearts syndrome. Terms that have been used before. So the dark triad being Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. And they all have slightly different personality traits. They all revolve around the type of person that doesn't have any regard for other people and only cares about serving self and serving feeling in the moment. The Machiavellian likes to use manipulation and deceit to con their people. It's just a fun game to them. It's fun to play make-believe and try to manipulate this other person into tricking them into getting what you want from them. And it can be no big deal. There's white lies that you think aren't going to necessarily cause any problems down the line, but they tend to cause mental harm in the people that are involved. Narcissism is thinking you're right all the time and being self-important. Everything needs to revolve around you. What you want is what's right because X, Y, and Z. And then the psychopath is the concept of turning any empathy off, any human connection. You have severed any sense of human connection to said person, and they don't exist anymore. So now you don't have to have any sort of feelings for all the terrible things you do. The narcissist and the psychopath kind of blend together with the lying and deceit, and then needing to be right, as well as not having any sympathy or empathy for your victim, because you're just the fucking king or queen, or you're right, or you're dad, or you're authority, or you're a cop, or you're this, or you're a teacher, or you're that, whatever fucking dumb bullshit reason you've given yourself to be a fucking cunt today. They don't care about their family and their friends other than how to use and abuse them. And how can they gain the good vibe off of them? By doing the things that they know reciprocated love. So doing the love language things to say, look, I love you, so reciprocate the love back to me, even though whenever I want to fucking be a psychopath and turn off any sort of sense of humanity and just be a fucking scumbag piece of shit and use and abuse you because you're a narcissist piece of fucking Machiavellian shit. The goal of these people is to create chaos and sow disorder within their victim's life. They want attention and they're not getting attention attention. And it's all gossip and lie and manipulate and deceive. And they enjoy doing it. They love doing it. Play make-believe is their favorite game. So it's just a game to them on top of the fact that they get to be fucking cunt pieces of shit. And because they get to disassociate with any sort of human emotion to their victim, they just get to go on about their fucking lives, completely fucking creating utter chaos in this fucking world. Their goals tend to be social influence and power, to manipulate the people around them, figure out how to use them to gain power and gain a team, coalition. And the goal is to isolate their victim. It's divide and conquer tends to be their game, so isolation and control. So once you isolate your victim, then you can control the narrative. The Ghislaine Maxwells of this world, sex peddlers, skanks, photographers and models, all these people out here that their whole game is drag everyone down to the lowest base root feeling and emotion that they have of lust and urge. We talk in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, your base level foundational urges. Sexual reproduction is on the level of urge to food and water, breathing. You feel it that strongly, that urge to have it. So dragging people down into that realm, it's really simple to do, especially if you're comfortable around somebody and you're friends with them.
It was on the head of a pin. That's right. And
Drop
you put
it in
it in
a
the drink.
Coca-Cola.
Girl would drink it and
she's yours.
hello, America.
And it's just a game to be comfortable in their own skin, you know, being horny little fucking cum dumpsters and fuck dolls and dipsticks. And how do I find the perfect guy that doesn't exist that will make my friend Ghislaine Maxwell happy? And I'll just fuck all the douchebags at the bar while I'm at it. Just have fun, and you know, they're catching feelings because they have these traumatic bonds that they've connected with the narcissists in their lives, all the excuses they have for why their life is shit, and that they don't blame on themselves, but they blame on everyone around them. These people thrive in the fear and loathing, abusing their victims, and then they live in this fear that their victim is going to do something in retaliation. They suffer those karmic ideations, the suicidal ideations, and the fear and the night terrors and all the other shit that they have to suffer. They don't get to just wander about the world comfortable and exist at peace. They always need to control and manipulate everyone around them. And if they don't have total control, then they break completely as people. They lose their ever-loving fucking minds, and they just go off and destroy everyone around them. And their men just play along. You know, happy wife, happy life. Girl power, we gotta make sure all the girls are happy. That's what's important. I like using the Queen of Hearts in the mental institution, the lady that showed up on a Friday, right after the doctors left and it was time to relax. She said, this is gonna be our only weekend together, guys, so let's make the most of it. She wasn't there just to hang out and poke at the people with mental disorders and have fun gaining juicy information about the crazies around. She would go around trying to get the other people riled up. She'd find out information about people, and then she'd gossip loud enough for them to hear and do all the girl cunt bullshit to try to get people upset. And the people that are in the mental institution are already on edge. Their emotions are already vulnerable. People like this love finding other people's vulnerabilities so they can use it to hurt them, make them feel all the pain and suffering that they can make them feel. Because I don't know why these mean girls do it, really. I don't know how the Nazis could do it. I don't know how they could justify doing it. Our cops justify it too. I got trafficked by cops that knew they shouldn't have fucking done it, but did it anyway because it was part of their fucking job. The education system teaches narcissistic personality disorder. Someone that frequently manipulates other people and has a sense of their own superiority and needs to inflate their own ego. Antisocial personality disorder, they'll give out borderline personality disorder. But I hate using the mental disorders in the way that the system likes to use it as a disease, as if it's just who you are. You're bipolar or you're borderline personality disorder, so your anger is just part of who you are and there's something wrong with you, rather than just figuring out what the anger is associated with and trying to heal from that so that it doesn't control you anymore. Whatever triggers that cause you to snap out of the super ego, the higher self. The system is set up to deal drugs, to enrich the pharmacies, which are fucking bad, toxic cartels that have a stranglehold on the knowledge and block everybody out from what's really going on in this world. Their goal is to say anyone that has the feeling and expresses emotions in ways we don't like, then we're going to give you these drugs we'll get into it in the next episode when we talk about all the drugs, all the different types, even the ones that psychiatry are giving out. But the goal isn't to say these are diseases that you can't cure yourself from. You become healed once you rebuild yourself and go through this course concept. It doesn't have to be this course, but the whole concept of making yourself whole again. Then once you're whole and you have the right people in your community, when shit goes wrong, you don't have to have that emotional response anymore because you know everything's going to be all right. And most of these people are living in a life of chaos where when something goes wrong, fucking shit's gone wrong and it's going to fucking suck for a long time until things can get better again. And when you have everything on a solid foundation, you have your life is going well, the bad shit just doesn't really have to fucking hurt you at all. You can feel it a little bit, then time to fucking figure out the solutions and move on from most problems. But we're not talking about extreme problems like deaths in the family or relationships ending. We're talking about people getting triggered. The protecting yourself from these people is to have a community of people that trust you and know you well enough, and to be the same person in public as you are in private, so that when shit's going wrong, at least your community doesn't break. It's like, who cares about what people outside of your community are gonna do? But as long as people that are inside of your community aren't gonna fucking break on you and fucking turn on you and give up on you because somebody's fucking trying to run their fucking bullshit. My problem is it's when their fucking feminist cunt friend, their closest cunt feminist friend, whose just game is to fucking gas him up, make him feel empowered, make him feel sexualized, and then go send him off to say why man ain't shit and go fuck whoever she wants to fuck and blah blah blah. That I can't break free from it, and that one just doesn't seem like it's fully on me. But talk about protecting yourself from all of these, not just these people, but learning these techniques, understanding these things and studying them. Everyone should know them. They should be taught in the public schooling system, and I'll create something enough to be able to deliver it locally and see what happens at some places. But these concepts should be taught, how to use them in your own life, how to identify other people when they're using them. And I feel like the goal should be to put an end to them using said tactics against you by being able to identify them in real time. The problem is even if you can identify them, the girl then pretends like she's a victim and just goes and gaslights even more. Protecting yourself from it, it's quite difficult when girls are never mean and everyone just has to play along because happy wife, happy life, or girls team up together and destroy man. Nothing you can do when you're all alone and it's a fucking team of fucking cunts. Team of fucking cunts having fun empowering women, destroy the man she loves so she can go fuck some douchebag, have a nice fuck buddy, have a bunch of fuck buddies, and collect a bunch of fuck buddies. Yay, women! Practice critical thinking. People don't like to critical think. They just like to nod their head and just agree and keep the peace. Live in everyone's imagination, and girls especially just love to feel their stories so they can empathize, and that's the level of in their minds, which it's the feeling of care, but it's not real care, because a lot of times we're talking about agreeing blindly without critically thinking through what you're agreeing to, and then agreeing to shit that's making their life worse, but you just want them to feel good in the moment, so you're just going to keep agreeing and just be amenable because, you know, that's what girls do. We just keep the peace by not challenging anybody's ideas and just let them go be fucking dumb cunts and just let everyone be cunts and no one stand up for any good in this fucking world. Just find reasons to say we're justified destroying everyone. Maintain healthy boundaries. You want to share your stories with your friends, you got to know who you're dealing with. Set a healthy boundary for them and set a healthy boundary for yourself. It's difficult because once you feel something and you haven't critically thought it through, it just becomes a part of who you are. And then cognitive dissonance sets in anytime you get challenged on that. You have to live in the negative vibration until you've gotten rid of the voice that's telling you the truth that you don't want to hear. Found a resolution and fixed yourself and healed and helped everyone around you heal so that pain and suffering ends. But no, it's easier to just say, let's block man and get a personal protection order and pretend we're victims. Yay, women! We'll dive into the boundaries too when we talk about the Torah, the things to do and the things not to do. I just don't know when I'm going to get to delivering that one out. It's a bigger undertaking it's the biggest undertaking that I can conceive of, and I'm not prepared. There's other greats that have outlined them too, like Code of Hammurabi maybe, where this guy outlined a code of how their society is going to operate. and punishments and consequences for breaking those codes. And our government does it, but it's just such on a fucking outlandish overreach. And it has nothing to do with actually creating peace, law, and order and making our communities better. It's all about fucking playing a game of destroy everybody and everything because you found somebody else that did something that you don't like. And government's fucking toxic. Gotta have a strong community of people that are on your side, that take you seriously. The goal of these predators is to try to make you think you're crazy, to gaslight you into thinking that you're crazy, to crush your mind and destroy your mind and destroy the minds of everyone around you so that they're a supreme leader and controller and they're the queen and the all highest in authority and the one that gets to make all decisions. We'll get into it later videos where we're going to talk about problem solving and self-care, and in that we're going to talk about morals and how to create your own set and standard. Once you start holding yourself to, the people around you will aspire to be like that. I don't necessarily know how to explain it any better than that. It's important to have a group of supporters that take you seriously when you need them to take you seriously. I'm trying to build a community of people like that aren't gonna fucking turn on me when someone wants to change the vibe and then cut ties because you call people out for what they fucking do because they're playing make-believe and causing everyone to live in a purgatory, a hell of their creation, their imagination, just so they can live in their happy little fucked up bubble while causing other to suffer and living in exile. Not just their victim, everyone becomes their victim that plays their game, because the cognitive dissonance, the concept of having two truths that can't reconcile with one another, they're water and oil, they don't mix, so having the two ideas, they can't blend into who you are, so you have to divide your soul into fragments, and then your soul becomes fragmented due to the lie created by the predator. And then that fragment causes the cognitive dissonance where you're not whole anymore. Your soul is now fragmented out in the lie world. Anytime the real world pops into your head, you cause that negative pain and suffering because you can't hold your reality anymore because your reality is now falling apart. And you can now target your victim for living in the reality that's truth. And that's the game of the predator, is to try to destroy your target so that they can live in their imagination world and make everyone and recruit everyone to live in their imagination world. And I just think it's fucked up, so I'm trying to build a community of people that won't fucking betray me. Difficult to fucking find. So these exercises are essential in my mind to make sure that I don't fall into the same hole. Once I climb and start to build the things I want to build, I don't want somebody to be able to just fucking tear it apart just because girl had feeling to destroy man and have fun with his girl, so who cares about man? Let's destroy man and girl power. Him having an emotion and being hurt, any response a man has is now the problem. Anything that makes him happy needs to be destroyed, and we need to poison him and lock him up so that he doesn't talk about the real world and what's really going on. We just live in la la land and girl imagination because empowered women, you know, and feminism and all that great stuff. Great to lead into the Art of War. The Art of War is a book. Should an emperor be seen as? An emperor should be seen as a scumbag pile of fucking shit that uses their wealth to create a power, a military power, that goes and murders men in other countries so that they can turn the women into prostitutes.
Thousands of Ukrainian girls was imported to Israel to work in prostitutions. And that's all over the world they do it.
And their little sex slaves and their little mistresses.
Would you rather be the king's mistress or a peasant's wife?
King's mistress. Also king's mistress.
Yeah, king's mistress. Same. Peasant's wife.
King's mistress.
King's mistress.
See how much riches and wealth you can collect by murdering men in other countries and stealing from them. Unrelated, the U.S. has bases in the Middle East and Africa and all over the world. Just throwing that out there. Book starts out, the emperor sent his first guy to prove that he could get people to obey him and create a perfect army or something. And he took all the mistresses, all the king's bitches, all the concubines, that's what they're called, concubines.
King's mistress. Also king's mistress.
Yeah, king's mistress.
Same. King's mistress.
King's mistress.
He conquered by murdering their men and their fathers and their brothers and took their land and their money and now is gaining profit off of whoever's a slave and all the little hoe bags that don't give a fuck about nobody.
Thousands
Like all
of
the
Ukrainian Ukrainian
bitches
girl
that said,
was
"Fuck this, I'm
imported
out
to
of
Israel
Ukraine.
to
Those
work in
guys are gonna die, and I'm gonna
They
go find
published
somebody
in Ukraine,
in some
if
other
you would
country
like to
that'll
come
fuck
in
me
and work in
take
Israel
care of
in
me."
cleaning,
Concubines,
or
they're
au pair,
called. Once you conquer that
watching
land, and all
children,
the
all
little
kinds of
sluts
jobs like
go
this.
and
And
hang
they
out with the
take
guy
their
that has money,
passport. We need to
rather
make you the
than
visa
the
and the
real world
papers,
and trying
and
to
that's
make
it.
the world
They
a
don't
better
see the
place,
daylight.
make the world a better place for themselves, so that they can be happy in the moment, every moment, without making girls happy. This guy took all the bitches and took the favorite bitch, made her the leader of the groups, and said, "Get these bitches to learn this exercise because we're gonna turn you guys into trained soldiers." For whatever reason, they told them to say they're doing it. They don't have a choice. They're fucking hoe bags. They get fucking put into exile and become homeless fucking whores on the street. They don't give a fuck about these fucking cunts. They're all just a bunch of fucking backstabbing bitches that they just keep around to have walking, talking fuck dolls. The Andy Taint, he's your emperor. And he's got a lot of concubines. He's destroyed so many relationships and so many men's lives, him and his brothers and his coalition.
Who did she fuck? You know yet? Did you find out?
No, I don't think she is fucking anyone.
Oh yeah, she left you to be by herself. She left you to sit at home alone. You're totally right. She's a good person. She's different than all the rest. She ain't fucking nobody. Don't worry, you can sleep just fine tonight. Maybe she texts her when you're lonely. Send her a text. She might text back this time.
There's not some dude like me sitting next to her laughing at your messages.
Bro, you're weird as fuck, bro.
Yeah, so you grew apart. You grew apart. Okay, carry on with the fairy tale.
And collected as many fucking skanks as they can fucking collect, and made babies of some, and destroyed some, and made some rich, and blah blah blah. But once you're the bad vibe, you're the fuck out. You're the fuck out. This guy that wrote this book, I'm pretty sure, was the Emperor's first in command. And we didn't finish the story about how this started. This book starts. This guy took the Emperor's best bitch, the best little slut, the best stupid cum dumpster that would rather be around some fucking piece of shit with money.
King's mistress. Also king's mistress. Yeah, king's mistress. Same. King's mistress. King's mistress.
Than a real man that's trying to make it in this world. Leave real men all alone to themselves and go have fun fucking Andy Taint.
King's mistress. Also king's mistress. Yeah, king's mistress. Same. King's mistress. King's mistress.
What we're talking about is this guy's first in command. And what he did is he took his best bitch and said, get her fucking team in order, her gaggle of fucking sluts, run these routines, and the girls we're girls doing girl things. We don't have to do shit. We're just fucking cum dumpsters. So they were giggling and goofing around and not paying attention and not listening, gossiping. The fucking guys made him do the routine, and the girls couldn't do the routine, and he fucking chopped that bitch's head off in front of all the little fucking cum dumpsters. He treated a girl just like he would have treated any of the men that was at his disposal. How men get treated, girls had to experience for a fucking iota of a fucking second. And they straightened right up. They straightened right the fuck up. And they learned the routine when they put the next person in command. What do you say? A problem with one or two people in the military is a problem with one or two people. But if it's the problem with the whole, then it's the commander's fault. That's how he treats people. Kill them. Get rid of them. These are the way to create so that we manifest faster and make the world the way we want it to be. Laying the plan. This is how it starts out. The first thing they talk about in this book is laying the plan. It's vital to the state. It's a matter of life and death, safety and ruin. That's how important it is to these pimps out here. These emperors, these soulless fucking cunts. And anyone that dare stand in their way and shine a light on these fucking cockroach bottom feeding scum. Fucking kings. Top G, the cool ones, everyone that's cool out there, the gangsters, the rappers, the pimps and the hoes. That's the cool people. You don't want to be a nerd. You don't want to be a loser. No, you don't want to miss out. So go be a hoe bag for these fucking douchebags. Be their fucking concubine. Be their little fucking skank. Yay, women.
King's mistress. Also king's mistress. Yeah, king's mistress. Same. King's mistress. King's mistress.
It's just fucking great world. It's a great world. Fucking girls initiate their divorce so they can go be fucking conquered. So they can go be conquered and have a fun fuck by the man that conquered them. Yay, women.
King's mistress. Also king's mistress. Yeah, king's mistress. Same. King's mistress. King's mistress.
And they say it's a subject which on no account should be neglected. It needs to be... I'm sorry, I didn't mean you, G. I didn't mean you, G. It's vital. It's just important to lay the fucking plan, to know what your goals are and outline it in as much detail as you can. Understand what the plan is and what your goals are. This goes into greater detail on the different stuff, so we'll go into it. Moral law is outlined as the unifying principle or vision that aligns the people, leaders, and army with a common purpose. They're doing terrible, awful things, and make sure they think they're good people while they're doing it. So build a fucking army and make sure you guys are all good guys and all on the same team. One of the other lines is, when the people are in harmony with their leader and the cause, they will follow without hesitation. They'll endure hardship and remain loyal even in danger. That's their purpose. So once you align and you get people to align, that's the outcome. So we're talking about, why are you doing this moral law? What's the outcome going to be? Then he gets into heaven and outlines heaven and earth. Heaven represents the external conditions such as weather, time, and natural cycles. It also symbolizes the unpredictable and changing nature of events. So the heaven concept isn't necessarily the breaking down the afterlife in this scenario, but the karmic and spiritual and natural phenomena that are going to cause challenges. We'll get into other ideas of what heaven is, but that's the one outlined in The Art of War, and I wanted to separate that out from the other concepts so that you understand what The Art of War is trying to say, and then seeing what heaven is versus what your religious people tend to look at it as. This isn't a religious... These are real things. These are the things that religions, that the Vatican hides from the people. For whatever reason, this is the real way to make shit happen. This is the real way to harness God power. This is what Jesus was teaching people and why Jesus got shut down the way he got shut down. And everyone like Jesus gets destroyed and shut down and silenced because you don't want to give people the answer out. We're only keeping that within the secret societies, within the fraternities and the sororities and all the cults. And the point is understanding and leveraging these conditions can significantly influence the outcome of any endeavor. An easier example is, if it's going to snow the next day, you're going to have to prepare for that. And if you know that in advance, then you can leave early enough to get to your destination on time. And now your plans to have a better chance of succeeding, rather than you waking up the morning of and seeing that there's an extra foot of snow and trying to figure out how the fuck you're going to do what you need to do this day. That's the point of understanding the elements and how they're going to affect the outcome of any endeavor. This kind of lead into divine intervention. So divine intervention is the concept of what heaven is, essentially. The communication from a divine being to a human, often conveying guidance, warnings, or divine truths, which is kind of outlined as karma, or being God's avatar. God in the Old Testament will talk regularly to Moses about how he's going to send an army to destroy his people because he's angry about them, and that's karma. That's God delivering karmic retribution for not following his laws, which Moses followed, which allowed him to have that connection. The same with Jesus and Muhammad, Mary Baker Eddy, a bunch of other ones. I don't want to go down a list right now, but maybe I'll outline as many as I can one day so that people can go see all the different real ones. Human intervention in God's plan. God's gonna have his plan done his way. He's a fucking scumbag pile of shit that doesn't give a fuck. Read the fucking Old Testament. You'll see the guy for who he fucking is, for what God is. God is the fucking devil. God's just as bad as the fucking devil, or worse. God created the flood and murdered and killed all of the little ants on the ant farm because he was upset and threw a fucking tantrum and said, I don't give a fuck about nobody, and murdered everyone. Guy's a fucking pile of shit, and you better fucking comply. He's just like our fucking government, and just like all these authority fucking pieces of fucking shit. They don't give a fuck about nobody but getting their fucking way and making sure the fucking Bay City government has a fucking statue written in fucking stone. Don't have any regard for yourself, your life, anyone, or anything, but follow the letter of the law and put your fucking life on the line. If you need to get it done, get it fucking done. Authority, you gotta love it. Nazis felt the same way. The Gestapo, the good guys, they created a scenario where they were the good guys. I just thought chat on the different philosophers and their thoughts on heaven real quick, just to outline the different theories of it so people can hear and see the spectrum and the understanding of heaven, not just how your religion teaches it. I haven't done and validated these. These are an outline from AI because I wasn't about to do the research. They added this part and I figured it was worth sharing, so I'm just sharing the concepts. One decided it's a perfect, eternal, and unchanging reality beyond the physical world. The soul seeks to return to the world of that world which represents the ultimate truth, beauty, and goodness. Heaven can be seen as a soul's reunion with this perfect realm after liberation from the body. So the concept I think should be understood is to be liberated from the sense of self and that ego, connected to the things that our body gets to have and feel in present and future moments, and the pain and suffering or attachments from the past. Then the goal of the world is to seek unity and oneness with all, and then that's the kind of the ideal of a heaven on earth. One envisaged as the outermost sphere of the cosmos, with a perfect, eternal, and unchanging being that inspires emotion in the universe. Heaven is tied to this cosmic order and divine perfection rather than personal afterlife. It represents the highest fulfillment and purpose and contemplation. Good ideal too, the concept I don't like is God being a being that lives above the clouds, and Jesus just like ascended there. This one talks
about the idea of a being that has control and is talking to us, that voice in your head, and then the life that you're creating for yourself and others, and fulfilling your higher purpose, making sure you're satisfying your super ego, attain your higher self, and strip away all of the negative things that you know are causing you the pain and suffering. This one I wrote was my favorite one. Described heaven as a spiritual realm where the righteous experience eternal joy and communion with God. Heaven is the ultimate goal of human existence, achieved through faith and grace. It is a state of eternal peace, free from sin and suffering. And that's what Jesus attained. What Moses, I don't necessarily say Moses attained it, because I still fucking haunted by the fact that that motherfucker died on the fucking side of the mountain after doing everything for that fucking asshole. That fucking asshole, he did fucking everything that fucking guy asked as best as he fucking could, and fucking said, hey, wait a second, maybe you shouldn't do that, and fucking checked him and shit, and did fucking excellent job. And that God guy's just like, fuck you, Moses, go on the side of the fucking mountain and die. You're not getting there. You're not getting there. Not fucking good enough, bro. Not good enough. But that idea of what Jesus attained, to be able to have a communion with God, to be able to live in God mode and be able to do the miracles in God's name, were how he attained the supernatural powers. Another one represented a moral idea rather than a physical or metaphysical place. It's the ultimate realization of the highest good, where virtue and happiness are perfectly aligned, which I like this concept too. It's less about the world, the external realm, and more about achieving a moral perfection through rational thoughts and ethical behavior. When a society and a community attains this ideal and can build that ideal for a community, then everything that you guys are going to do tend to be creating that standard of heaven inside of each of us. And then the world becomes Coolville, if you will, just that happy place where everyone's taken care of and your neighbors are making sure everyone's taken care of and sharing in responsibilities, and so that everyone can be free. This fucking world is so easy to live in and it's so fucking great, but to be alone, you have to take care of all of the aspects of life all by yourself. And to team up with people, it's great to have that one significant other that you get tied to, but to have a community of multiple groups like that, taking care of different things, you can go spend more of your focus on your purpose and your ultimate goal, and high tide raises all ships and everybody helps everybody, and the world becomes a better place in that regard, and that's heaven outlined. One of them was the experience of faith and individual's relationship with God. It's not a universal or objective reality, but a deeply personal, spiritual, achieved through authentic faith. A leap of faith is necessary to transcend despair and a connection to the divine. That's a good one too, because you really in the real world have to detach from your ego and self in that leap of faith to get to God, to say, you know what, fucking gonna stop jerking off and fucking go do what I need to get done. Then live in God's rules, which I'm gonna outline at some point, best as I understand them, once I get some help. You really shed all the negativity. The fat shaming and slut shaming isn't the goal, tend to be necessarily the goal of doing it. It is people, they live in a despair of that life where they're constantly trying to justify why it's okay, why they don't need to change, why they don't need to work on themselves, why they don't need to experience pain and suffering to get to a state where they feel good all the time, rather than have to justify and make everyone around walk on eggshells so that they don't upset the cosmic balance of energy and everyone can be happy without the shadow being seen and everyone being spooked by the fucking shadow, you know what I'm saying? So last guy's great. Fucking says the notion of heaven is a tool for controlling human behavior and suppressing individual potential. It's a fiction created by religion to provide consolation and moral order. True fulfillment lies in embracing life fully without reliance on an imagined afterlife. That would imply following with all the moral and universal laws and being able to understand the art of war and being able to maximize how to gain everything you can out of life, because fuck God, because like you said, God's a fucking piece of shit. If that thing's real, he's the fucking devil too, because he's everything. He's all in all, so he's the fucking devil, so who cares if he fucking exists or not? So go about life and say fuck it. Say fuck it. I like that one too. But I disagree with it. I think there's more to this world. I don't think they're all just fictions created to control. I think they're the bad people, like I said, took over good causes and tweaked them to the way they want and are using them for control and suppressing people from understanding the real world so that they can live in God's good grace and have all the superpowers that God would give us and be able to live in a world where anything is possible. And then Earth represents the physical environment, including terrain, distances, and obstacles. It also encompasses factors such as geography and resources. So back to the art of war now, we're talking about the separation of what heaven versus earth is. Earth is the realm of reality, the terrain itself, and how are you going to get to where I need to go? There's fucking mountains here. How the fuck am I going to get to my destination around these mountains and bring my army and bring all of my food and all of the things that I need? Understanding the terrain in the earth is essential for everyone, not just the emperor. It's not like this isn't, or try to explain to people when I build these businesses and the communities, everyone from the top to the bottom should know what the goals are of the operation and understanding the elements, and it should be a team effort to make sure everyone understands it from top to bottom. All right, the next important thing in the art of war to understand is the commander. It refers to the leader qualities and capability, including wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, and discipline. The idea of discipline is a tough one because it implies that there's going to be pain and suffering and consequences and the negative vibration, and it's essential in training. Like, I have this dog here, and if I don't hold it accountable to things that I tell it to do, and when I tell it no, it goes and does it anyway, and I let it do it, it's going to continue to do it, and when I say no, it's not going to listen to me ever. So I need to make sure when I tell it to do something, I follow through and make sure the dog executes on it, and eventually the dog starts to listen more and more and more, and she's getting better and better and better, and she trends upward in her discipline. And what's the outcome of that is I don't have to tell her she's being a bad girl, because the only time she now responds is when I said, hey, you're being bad, stop it. And I call her a bad girl, and no one wants to be called bad, so then she goes and shies away, and then she complies. But now when she complies, I don't have to do the negative discipline. I can give her love, affection, treats, and all the good stuff that baby girl deserves. This is the art of war, but war and competition shouldn't be seen as
such a powerful word, it should be seen as how I'm at least trying to outline it here is, how do you set your life up to succeed? This is a good outline for that. Success in any endeavor depends on the leader's ability to inspire and guide others while maintaining discipline and clarity of purpose. Effective leaders must possess emotional intelligence, decision-making abilities, and capacity to motivate their teams. Nothing better in the Greeks than a leader that puts the interest of the community above all. That just was one of the notes I took from the Greek philosophy on why the Greeks were so great. One of the most powerful, dominant cultures this world has seen. They made sure their leaders had these qualities and made sure the community lived in a discipline and not just a fear of being disciplined, but wanting to be disciplined internal so that the community is all good, so that we fucking win every battle and we manifest everything we want. Method and discipline refers to organization, logistics, and effective management of resources, and ensures that plans are implemented with precision and efficiency. Without proper organization and discipline, even the best plans will fail. The idea behind this is understanding these 5 heads and how to implement them in your own life. Not to be scared by the fact that it says the art of war and these guys did murder people so they could bang all these skanks and get rich and have fun with all their slaves and concubines. But knowing how these work is how they gained their power and status, and I think everybody should understand them. He who knows these 5 heads will be victorious. Whoever understands how to implement these, it's not just like knowing them, but knowing how they operate in practice, make them succeed. Similar to the law of attraction on how to accomplish your goals, but it goes into specific details on how a sinister person will go about accomplishing their goals to achieve riches and bitches and all the important things in life. A bunch of fucking cum dumpsters and money. So you can make the cum dumpsters happy and want to be sluts for you instead of being real human beings and decent fucking people. All warfare is based in deception. Bait and trap is the concept. Andy Tate in his sex trafficking videos, when he teaches people how to sex traffic dumb fucking slut whore pieces of fucking shit.
The girl has to hear from a girl. And this is why your ball has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell?
And that they're the one, and you're going to treat them different and better than all the other piles of shit whores that you have around that you treat like fucking garbage. No, he's really good to them to their face. He just uses them, takes their money, gives them less than what they've earned to be fucking piles of shit, to manipulate men into fucking stealing money from them under false pretenses. Bait and trap. Bait the women in, and then once they're there, they've already destroyed everything, so now they're just trapped with nothing and nobody. Once you've destroyed their relationship with the people that they love, now they don't care about anything or anyone anymore but whatever feels good in the moment, and so they just live this miserable life in the prison of suicidal ideations and misery, unless they're getting gassed up while doing bad things, which is just the negative vibration dragging them down into more negative, and they get trapped in it, and the only thing that feels good is having fun with the fuckboys and your fucking those feminist cunts that are just gassing everybody up. The next goal is divide and conquer. That's the goal, is separate people, divide them from their confidants in any way you can. It must be physically separated from them, so then you can plant ideas in their head where they can't really return back. It's how the snake worked with Eve. It's can't really argue the gossip war. Once you divide people physically, then you can start implanting ideas in their head and control the narrative and the situation totally. To conquer, you have to divide. Treat captured foes kindly to augment strengths. Like attracts like in the most base form. If you treat them well, like you like them in a liking manner, then they'll respond accordingly. It's just the natural human response. Unless somebody is a warrior that's so dedicated to their goal of destroying their fucking enemy, then you'll never change those people. But the idea of this whole art of war is to understand who you're dealing with and understand how to manipulate and control the scenarios by understanding everything that's going on. So the goal is to treat even your captured enemies kindly, because it's like you can diffuse people from wanting to cause chaos and destruction by being nice to them. It's a ploy women take on a lot. They can be nice to people that they hate and they're just soulless. Your objective be swift victory. The longer you delay, Watch too many videos of people taunting and not running through a finish line just for them to lose a race. You can choose peace or peril for the nation. That's what we're talking about. This art of war is how you can have a community that's thriving at peace and happy, or a community that's failing, destroyed, and struggling. Control emotions. Don't let irritation move you. And the concept behind this is when you're emotional, your rational mind's going to be shut off. Not just is your rational mind going to be shut off, the people around you are going to sense that you're in an emotional state. And then people that are highly attuned to it can use that either against you, or people that are lower vibration that aren't attuned to it, they just feel it. They just empathically can feel it. I don't necessarily want to call it a lower vibration because a higher tuned person can feel it too. Don't make decisions when you're in an emotional state. Don't let the emotion make the move. That's what we're talking about. We should really highlight when you let the emotions move you, then you're putting everything at risk. Everything that you're building, everything that you're creating, you're putting it at risk of being attacked, being harmed, failing, because you let your emotions get the best of you. Not necessarily that you can't harness the emotions when the time is right and use that irritation in movement, but the movement should be made and then the irritation can be used in the moment. Anyway, it's complicated. Balk enemy plans and prevent junction and then attack last. Balk the enemy plan is to know your enemy's move, have your spies go figure out what the enemy's moves are going to be, and then when they come and report the moves to you, then you can make the decisions on what their life gets to be. So you get to balk their plans. If they created plans and then you find out about them, then you can go find a way to prevent those plans from happening by breaking a piece here and there. It's a babysitter tactic. If a kid's got something you want, if G's got a toy, I want another person's toy, a little klepto, then I go grab one of our toys, walk over and I say, hey, play with this toy. And then when she's not playing with the toy the person Kenzie doesn't want her husband hanging out with, when he's not hanging out with them, then Kenzie gets to do whatever she wants. So, because, happy wife or else. The 5 essentials for victory. He knows when to fight and when not to fight. He knows how to handle superior and inferior forces. Animated, I put with the Holy Spirit. I don't remember what they put, but that concept of passion, the fire inside, creates a level of energy it's an unlimited source of energy. I don't want to say unlimited because you're still a human being. When you're not in that zone, then you'll still need sleep and whatnot. But to be in that zone is an unlimited source of energy. And the psychology calls it manic state. I don't like the term. I don't like any of the terms that we use to call the mental disorders. The mind being not in order because it had order and then it was collapsed into chaos, or it never had order. So the mind is always bouncing around on how do I get this need met? How do I get that need met? How do I get this need met? Rather than being at peace and comfortable with this fucking world is what we're talking about. Prepared to take enemy, and the enemy is unprepared. Military movement not interfered by the sovereign. So when the military movement's not interfered by any do-gooders at the sovereign, how do we allow Israel to expand their military into Gaza through genocide? If people talk about it and then say, hey, we can't let this happen and try to stop it, and then people in the sovereign try to get in charge of the military that would say, hey, we're not going to let you keep expanding this territory because you're a fucking corrupt piece of shit, Netanyahu. No. We just say the Jews are the good people and they were victimized by the Nazis years ago. That's what our history books tell you because we won the war. That's what it says. Make no mistakes. This is just a tough one because mistakes hard to avoid. But the less mistakes you make, the just more you're setting yourself up for success. I want to just put a disclaimer out there that I'm not a fan of using deceit to accomplish goals. I like being upfront and just doing the work. That's how I avoid most of the struggles in life and has climbed to such heights. We talked about it in the way, don't think dishonestly and do the fucking work is the 2 most important things. The consummate leader cultivates moral law and strictly adheres to methods and discipline. It's pretty straightforward. You want to be a good leader, have everybody rallied around a good cause, and make sure you're sticking to the practices and disciplines. The basics, it's not about authoritarian martial law dictator type of control. Methods and disciplines are like stick to the basics, the nuts and bolts, and knock it out. Indirect tactics, efficiently applied, are inexhaustible. An indirect tactic, being gossip, is inexhaustible because by the time the victim realizes that they've been gossiped about, people's minds have already been poisoned, so it already spread like wildfire into the minds. Now you have to try to undo what the poisoner did. And so you're exhausting, and you can keep doing that over and over again. Your energy should be like a bending crossbow. Simulated disorder to discipline to fear, fear to courage. I think as simulated means was like training. It's turned disorder to discipline, fear to courage, and weakness to strength. A high good energy, high morale equals momentum. Learn to be invisible. Learn the enemy's strength to avoid and weaknesses to strike. Turn devious to direct and misfortune to gain. This was an interesting one because it talked about finding the silver lining in a way to gain even in defeat. Ponder and deliberate before making your move. That's what you need to do. This ties back to not letting your emotions move you, not letting your negative vibration drag you and everyone down into the hell purgatory of your making because, you had a fucking feeling. Because, it's all about your feelings. That's what's most important in this world. Your fucking feelings. Your feelings. Yeah, your feelings. Those things that change with every thought you fucking have. He will conquer who learned the article of deliberation. I don't think it necessarily implies that other people are involved. You can have a deliberation between yourself. I think it's just having weighing the pros and cons, the positive and negative potential outcomes, playing the devil's advocate concept for yourself. You can do that and should do that. That little voice in your head that says no, you should listen to that just as much as you listen to the voice that says yes. The spirit is keenest in the morning and fades to desire bed in the evening, which leads into the art of studying people's moods. So if you want to be able to maximize what you can gain out of people, the idea is in the morning, after you've woken up and moving around, there's a gap of time where people are most efficient. Then after that efficiency, you can gain boosts of energy when you tap into that state of, we talked about unlimited energy earlier. But that is only when you're animated by the Holy Spirit or whatever is driving you, or caffeine or drugs are inducing it, or you're in such a state of, I don't know how to explain the vampire state, and you're just never really at peace inside, so you just always alert and awake, even more so at night seemingly than the day. But that's not normal to be in that state. It's not an ideal state to be in, but when you don't really have anything but feelings to care about, then I guess nothing else is important in matters. This said something about the art of studying self-possession and husbanding one's strength. The art of studying your own strengths and weaknesses so that you can build on your build on both, but play your strengths as best as you can. The 5 dangerous faults. Recklessness leads to destruction. Cowardice leads to capture. Hasty temper provokes insult. Why is that important? The game of the art of war is everything's deception. The whole point of Andy Taint's game is the art of deception. Make everybody pretend that you're a good person. Put all of the words out and everything to make everyone see that you're a good person. Do all of your heinous scumbag cunt bullshit in secret. And make sure the only people that know about it are going to keep your secret so you can still be a degenerate scum. When you start insulting people, it starts turning the vibration towards you negative. And as we talked about in the law of oneness, everything is interconnected. And so the negative vibration tends to expand outward and spread. This is kind of like to shame. When people's ego get in the way, it can be distasteful and off-putting. And like we said, the goal is to attract in and not repel outwards. When you're in the zone of trying to build a kingdom, the goal is to attract everything in and avoid doing the things that would prevent people from being on side for the cause. Over solitude exposes worry and trouble. The people aren't hanging out and aren't being seen. It exposes that there's potential something everyone should be concerned about. And people's minds wander and to the worst possible outcome, potential thoughts. A peace proposal without covenant indicates a plot. If somebody is repenting without the idea of atoning, they're not really sorry. They don't really care, and they're still going to do it again. If somebody comes with some sincere, heartfelt apology without any proposal, a covenant, a promise, it'll never happen again kind of concept, indicates that there's deceit and they have ulterior motives, and then that they're not truly sincere. People, they know how to play these games, they know how it works, and they know how the people around them respond, how they're programmed, and they use that for their advantage. Gossip points to disaffection. If people are going to talk about you behind your back and don't have the courage to say those things to your face, don't have the courage to live in the real world, they have to go play make-believe, they're not really on board with the cause. Their goals, their motives are to interfere and make it what they want it to be. That may or may not be aligned with what's best for the community. If soldiers are punished before they grow attached, they will be useless, and if punishment isn't enforced, they will be useless. Treat with humanity under discipline. I really like this one, this concept of if somebody doesn't have the love, that affection for you and the cause, then you disciplining them is only going to deter them. It's going to repel them. They're going to be like, why are you scolding me? I don't know you. Get the fuck away from me. I'm out of this bitch. Obviously, the goal is, like we said, is to draw in. So before you can scold somebody, they have to trust that you're scolding them in their best interest, not just some person that's just out on a mission to drop bombs on people. And then if somebody is a part of your crew and you're not willing to create those boundaries and discipline verbally and or physically if need be to enforce those boundaries, then those people are pretty much useless and harmful to have around, because they're just going to cause you pain and suffering and not care. They're in their own little world, living in their own little bubble. They're not a part of the team. They're not a part of the collective. They're a part of them. They're what they want. They are who they want to be, whatever they want to get out of the situation. But the goal is, if I want my dogs to listen to me, I need to make sure they still have that love and affection for me so that they'll want to listen and not want to run away. So I treat them as well as I can, but I also have to do stuff that I don't like to do. Like call her anyway, we won't get into it. The 6 calamities from fault, meaning the commander, the leaders of the team have committed errors, and what's going to happen as a consequence of those tactical errors. People are going to flight, they're going to run up, they're going to say, I'm out. People are going to be insubordination, which is due to weak officers, people that don't have any respect for their authorities. They're going to have insubordination, people that aren't listening. We should really talk about the level of emotional intelligence, let's call it, to be able to know your own emotions and be able to handle stress and still operate with a clear, level head under pressure. Each person has a different tolerance, and so any response by the commander or leader can trigger a weaker, a lesser, lower tolerant person, a person with less tolerance for the existence of other people and their thoughts and ideas and their emotions, versus somebody that has a higher tolerance for it and can still operate level-headed under pressure. That balance isn't just innately in a commander, but the ability to adapt to who you're dealing with so that you can soften or harden as required to deal with the individual or the groups. Disorganization is not clear orders and no fixed duties. People don't have responsibilities on a day-to-day basis and fixed duties. They lose interest in the cause. You can't really have pride in something you're not help building. You got to give people opportunities to help build in the ways that they can help build. If you want them to continue to be a part of the cause. How does that work in relationships? What I've noticed in not just mine, but other relationships, the more you do with somebody, the more you get attached to the person. The more you don't do with and for the person, the more you separate from said person. The less you're putting in to show you love and care, the less you're getting in return, the less that's just going around. Know the path and route. Calamities from fault, path and route, not knowing the way to get there. The jewel of the kingdom is a general that advances without coveting fame and retreats without fear of shame, whose only thought is to protect the country and do good. This is just a good, really good one. I like that one. Regard soldiers as own children, and they will follow you shoulder to shoulder. If you are unable to make authority felt, it equals a spoiled child. Rapidity is the essence of war. So that ties along to being a swift victory. Quicker you get stuff done, more you can accomplish without people getting in the way. Carefully study the well-being of your people and do not overtax them. What does overtax mean? Let's give an example of overtax mean. Let's talk about homework. These teachers, they give out homework on a regular basis. It's an added tax onto the mind and the human that you're requiring them to do at home after they just spent half of their fucking waking hours in a fucking prison of learning. Like, you couldn't got enough done. You couldn't have taught them enough in fucking school that you make them go learn more when they get home and make them take time out of their day and their happiness and building their own life to continue to do your bullshit. Like, overtax. Like, if you got a good reason for it, maybe they earned the tax. Maybe they did something that said, you know what, you got to do this tax. Or, I don't know. It's just too much. We already put these kids into the schooling system. They're done with the education tax after that. When you study the well-being of the people that you're in charge of, or even not, just around, you can understand their moods and when they're overwhelmed and overstimulated. The best our system really has is drugging and punishing, hurting and threatening and fear tactics, all these dark psychological tactics to try to manipulate the minds. So you can program these inanimate objects, you fucking treat them like they are. Prohibit omens, do away with superstitions as they lead to fear. It's the idea of idol worshipping that goes along in the Bible, where God's a jealous piece of shit that wants all the attention and love and all the accolades for everything, and everything's due to him, and we need to go, God, this, or God, blah, blah. And if you give it to anybody but that one God, then he gets jealous like a fucking girl and then fucking goes on the fucking attack. When people start to worship omens, they gain fear when shit's not going right and make irrational decisions that don't make any fucking sense. To minimize the effects of those, to maintain a stable emotional state, maximize your potential for success. Be quiet to ensure secrecy. When people know your intentions, then what was it at the last one? It was balk enemies' plans. But the problem is you can't do everything in secret. You need collaboration with people, so you gotta pull in on your plans. Be upright and just to maintain order. Study fundamental laws of human nature. This book, remember, it's an outline. How do people that want to collect riches and a bunch of admirers gain their popularity and wealth? These are the strategies that they employ. Real people have very difficult times gaining any sort of fame and wealth and recognition because they have to play a character in public, and when people see them break character, it's like that concept of never meet your hero, because then you'll see who they really are and then you'll not like them anymore. So these people are pretty much just fake in the public eye, hiding from paparazzi so no one catches what they really look like. Inspire unity and purpose. See that there is close connection between everyone. Make sure everyone's synchronized, everyone's together, everyone's on board, connected to the same goal. That unity needed to reign supreme in important times, and any distraction from the unity was a weakness that potentially opened them up to failure. Carry out own secret design to keep antagonists in awe. I think the idea behind this is we're talking about gaining a massive amount of supporters and making sure everyone's your little soldier your little tool to use in your game. This book was a piece of shit to teach other pieces of shit how to use and abuse people so that you can control them, gain whatever you want in this world. Whatever you feel like you want when you feel like you want it. How do you make it happen? These are the things they teach in secret societies, the fraternities and sororities, the things that they keep secret from the general population. Bestow rewards without rule and issue without regard to control many. When out before their eyes, you tell them nothing. So the idea is good vibes only. When everything looks good, tell everybody how great everything is, and when everything's going to crash, try to keep it in secret so everyone just sees the facade and no one knows what's really going on. It's all about manipulation. Like you said, the first thing they talked about here today was it's all about deception. Everything's about deception. Don't let anyone see the real you. Let everyone live in a make-believe fantasy world of what they stand to gain or lose by interacting with you. That's your goal, is to be able to control how everybody is going to respond in accordance with you. It says, one, destroy talent control. Be cunning like a woman till you find an opening, then rush in. Good one. Be cunning and sneaky so that you get your way. And then as soon as you get an opening, go get it as quickly as you can and take as much as you can while you're there. An enlightened ruler is heedful, a good general cautious, keeps the country in peace. Anger can turn to gladness and vexation to contentment. The goal is to make sure and maintain everyone's happy. If all the little peasants are happy, then no one's asking questions. Spies, it dives into local, inward, converted, doomed, and surviving. Manage with benevolence and straightforward. Be subtle, bribe and lure away from enemy spies or try to convert them. This dove into the specific nature of spies that is fairly self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go into it. And then be an enlightened ruler with the highest intelligence. Like we said, this guy is trying to outline how the emperor and his team, his highest staff, should operate. This book here was how to use dark psychological tactics to control the minds of the people around you and share it with you here just to prove a point that there's people that study these things, that use these type of strategies to control the population. Sexual warfare in the military machine, I want to talk about it. I don't want to dive too deep into it and make it a crazy thing.
I want to tell you something that is very, very disturbing. Thousands of Ukrainian girls was imported to Israel to work in prostitutions. In every block you have an apartment of prostitute. They published in Ukraine, if you would like to come and work in Israel in cleaning or au pair, watching children, all kinds of jobs like this, you're gonna make $4,000 a month. Wow. $4,000 in Ukraine? Better than a lawyer. It's a lot of money. So right away they arrived to Israel. As soon as they arrived, these gangsters, when some of them themselves are Russian or Ukrainians, they do it for their own people. And they take their passport. We need to make you the visa and the papers, and that's it. From the minute they took their passport, they take them to some place, they bury them in a basement, they don't see the daylight. They put these guys with guns, and they force them to be slaves over there. And that's all over the world they do it, not only in Israel.
It's essential for men to know how to fight and be prepared for war. The U.S. military, they shouldn't be seen as the good guys. We'll dive into a few of the toxic things that they do in secret. No one knows, because when you go into the military or any government type of role, you get to keep your secrets from the public. It's government. They're on the team working for the public. That's why they keep secrets from us, because, the public can't know what they're doing because it's too top secret and dangerous for us to know, for the general population to know everything that's going on. Even in my local fucking Parks and Recs crew, I reached out to the parks to fucking things I want to do in the park, and they responded, we have plans, top secret plans that only people that siphon money, tax dollars into their own bank accounts get to know about. That's it. You get to siphon our tax dollars into your bank account, and then everything you do gets to be kept a secret because you're a government agent. That's what it is. America. the land of the free oligarchy that rules and the fucking people that fucking obediently follow their masters. So, you know, the Kardashians will be #1 on Hulu because women watch real important stuff. They fill their brains with the most educational, wonderful things. That's why they feel so fulfilled, because they get to go home and watch the Kardashians. Psychological warfare and sex on the human's needs is the most base level urge. You feel it super strong. And when you tap into that energy, it's hard to snap out of it, just like if you're hungry or thirsty and you think about it. It's hard to snap out of, like, I need to eat now that I'm thinking about it. Which we get into it in self-care, how fasting is important, on how to challenge yourself so that you can snap yourself out of the id, out of the animal mode, so that you can be back in your super ego. But the problem is, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein become friends with the people. However they lure them into their lives, whatever story they tell, whatever game they play, money, fame, private trips, whatever they're getting out of it, to just be turned off, inhuman. They're not fucking human beings. You turn your human off and now you're in animal mode. Sexual warfare, the military machine. The US does it. We do it. Before we talk about the US, talk about Russia and China. Russia and Ukraine, the sex trade. What's it about? Territory expansion. It's always about fucking land and having people follow this oligarch set of rules. They're in the frats and the sororities. Their design's all the same. They teach the skills to the degenerates at the bottom. They find the people whose parents aren't really paying attention to them. The ones whose moms just fucking yell and scream and say, get the fuck out of my sight. The fucking bitches that are just like, you're giving me an emotion that I don't want, boy. So you're born with a penis, so get the fuck out of my fucking sight. Girls are getting it too in these psychologically torturous ways. Men get treated more directly, and girls get called annoying. They get told to go away and ignored just as much, so that parent and authority can do, you know, what's important, because kids are to be seen and not heard. So the parents can do whatever the fuck they want to do, whatever pleases them, because, you know, they had to work to earn a living to make this fucking life work for themselves. Because they had to do it, then children must be slaves and do whatever they're fucking told, and just be happy all the time and make sure they're always the good vibe, or else get the fuck out, or else get the fuck out, you know. Love. They teach how to snap people into the animal mode. All these psychologically warfare strategies, they teach it to people. The ones that don't succeed, they get sent to America to disrupt society. Because they can't fucking drop bombs on us like the Jews get to do to whoever resides in the land that they want, the Jews want. They can't fucking drop bombs in the US, so what do? They fucking send them over on work visas in services companies.
If you would like to come and work in Israel in cleaning or au pair, watching children, all kinds of jobs like this.
But they're not all above board what they're actually doing in this world. And there's hubs where they find themselves. They're single once they're in America because their fucking women are back at home. And they're no different than soldiers here, and should be seen and understood no differently as soldiers here, as people that are to put the interests of the motherland first. And while they're in the other country disrupting society, guess what their women are fucking doing? Their women are working at bars and casinos, getting hit on, hanging out with their girlfriends, going out. You know, they got to have fun and enjoy life too. Girls just want to have fun, living their best life, and guys in the military are doing the same. The mission is to disrupt society, so how do you do that? Bring people to their base level urges and get them on drugs that get them to feel horny. Fucking Bill Cosby told you it's a pin drop of a fucking liquid that you can fucking drip into a drink.
Was the old story was, if you took a little drop, it was on the head of a pin. The girl would drink it and she's yours. Hello, America.
And all of a sudden they're feeling good, ready to fuck. It's not that they're ready to fuck. It's that their minds are going to be shut off because, one, they've been drinking alcohol, which turns the mind off. And your rational mind never shuts you down and says, snap out of it. This is a bad vibe thought. Every thought's a good thought. So when Bill Cosby gives you an idea, it's all about what idea you're feeding them. The drugs they're giving you don't necessarily make you feel that way. It's who did you surround yourself with? And it's always a Ghislaine Maxwell that's trying to gas every girl up to say, show your ass and show your tits, and who cares, be sexy, be all about sex, and make your tits big, and you make sure your ass is big, and if you got it, flaunt it, because it's all about being sexy. But it's not about sex, even though the word sex is in it, because we're just fucking playing a game of make-believe in this fucking world. Whatever makes a girl feel good in the moment, just placate her fucking dumb brain so she'll fucking get naked and be a fucking slut. And that's all it is. That's the whole fucking game. And so they're over here trying to get everyone they can to destroy relationships. What do? Recruit people that have nobody, that are all alone looking for friends. And then they go make friends. Boom. Real easy. Now we're friends. Hey, I do this. I do drugs. What are you, a square? And they fucking play mind games to make you fucking fear of missing out. And then you don't want to miss out. And girls are all about their fucking living in their fucking feelings. If you get a girl to feel something, then she's going to act upon that feeling because, you know, she's fucking empowered by Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein's money. The goal is to create negative energy. They thrive on it. These people are trained like our military is trained. They're psychologically abused young men that have no people that really care about them, that take care of them, that look out for them, that help plan a future for them. They say, hey, I did drugs and I fucked, and you exist now, so go thrive on your own. You're 18. Go get out of my fucking life. I'm done with you. Because, you know, parents love, they thrive in these negative, like lust is that negative vibration like we talk about. It's a need that's not being met. So the sexual urges now exist just like hunger would exist. And what are you going to do? And when the girl is not fucking the man she promised herself to, well, she's going to start fucking somebody, whether it's that night or a couple weeks, days, months later, who knows? The dirty cum dumpster is making sure she's getting loads blown on her and that she's having fun with the fuck boys and the frat fucks and the sorority skanks so she can go, you know, be an empowered woman, an American woman living her best fucking life, making her friend Ghislaine Maxwell happy. And that's what we got to talk about. It's always a good close friend of her.
The girl has to hear from a girl. And this is why your bottom has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell? A friend from college, who knows? Just somebody that knows how to turn these girls' energy into what they want. And then they're always that vibe. It's like, I'm that girl, so I'm always that vibe. And then the drug dealers and the sex traffickers and the peddlers, they always be that vibe. And if you're not that vibe, then you're a narcissist, or you're toxic, or you're insecure, or you're something bad, because you're not the vibe of make sure the girls are dumb cum dumpsters. They're stupid fucking sluts in their animal brain, and they don't care about anyone or anything but satisfying the feeling in the fucking moment. That's all it's about. That's all it's fucking about. Andy Taint will tell you all fucking about it.
The girl has to hear from a girl. And this is why your bottom has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Remember Ghislaine Maxwell? So how do you create the negative vibration and then direct the negative vibration towards the people they care about and that care about them so that they don't want to be around them? Like we said, the female mind is get away from me. It's fight or flight. And because they're smaller and weaker, it's usually just freeze and hope nothing bad happens or escape the situation. And if you're a fighter, it's fucking yell and scream and fucking be toxic and mean and fucking push everyone away and eliminate people that don't make you feel good. So the U.S. does it. We go on these military parades to other countries and send these young men that have no real brain for what makes a country work, for what makes a community operational, for why America is so great. Why are we positioning these people in front of the world? No, what we're doing is taking a bunch of lost boys, giving them fucking big ass fucking salaries and a fucking place to stay where they don't got to spend any money on anything but fucking drugs and fucking bitches, and send them to a new country where they just fucking dip their dicks in anything that'll fucking give it to them and give them money and fucking rile them up and destroy a fucking civilization by sending a bunch of horned up fuckboys to go fuck a bunch of fucking skanks in another country. And the U.S. has bigger guns, so we can and are dropping bombs in a lot of the places that we have men doing this. We don't send our best and brightest. It's not about fucking training them. No. That's not what it's about. Get them young, get them cheap, and when they're too old, get rid of them and fucking let the VA or fucking somebody else deal with them. Not to mention the fucking drug trade. We have people we buy drugs from, and anyone that's fucking on the street or not affiliated with the US government or whomever has the biggest weapons and the most fucking people that don't care about anybody or anything ready to use those weapons to destroy. Who's got the fucking biggest guns protecting the people with the fucking flamethrowers that are burning the poppy crop in other countries, because we're buying the poppy crops from these people, and if those people are making poppy crops, then they're using it for bad, and our people are using it it for good. That's what it is. You know, drugs are bad as long as you're coming from somebody that's not affiliated with somebody that's keeping all of their secrets, because they're affiliated with the government, so they're collecting a government paycheck so that everyone keeps their secrets so that they can do, you know, good Samaritan shit. That's why they gotta keep a secret, because they're doing wonderful things. Even in the past, the fucking Europeans, Great Britain, fucking America was, and fucking Australia was pretty much built on sending prisoners and fucking military men to fucking other countries to go land and expand. And they fucking are the best at it. Maybe God is a better fucking father. He was a better fucking father and he fucking taught better. And fucking trained these young men how to be gentlemen and warriors and live in our society. But that's not what the US military does. No, it takes fucking young men that got nothing, and then when they're done with them, they're fucking done with them unless you were fucking successful. Because they care, and you know, because their parents care, and because everyone fucking cares about these fucking people. That's what it is. That's what it is. Love. Love. The goal of the sexual warfare is the negative vibration. There's always a soul tax tied to all of these things. That's never taught at any level. The religions try to, and it's hard to find one that actually does any decent of a job for it. But gluttony, that concept of continually feeding that craving because it gives you a good feeling, the overindulgence that it's easy to see in fat people that eat too much, they overindulge in it. And so the gluttony is easy to show. And then in other things like lust, it's harder to see, but it presents itself in watching a life crumble. And in our society, it's a lot to do with fucking girls getting into their little cult groups and having their girls' night out with their fucking whore friends and go and be sluts, having fun. Because what is fun for girls? Catching a vibe, pretending to be single, pretending that they're fucking available so that they can have fun catching a vibe with somebody that they might want to fuck in the future. And you know, it's okay as long as they don't fucking pass their fucking boundaries that they've set. So as long as they're just in their feelings and they vibe together, it's okay to be fucking, you know, cunt pieces of fucking backstabbing shit. As long as you feel good in the fucking moment, you dumb whores, you piece of shit backstabbing cunts. I mean, girls, I mean, women that care, the fairer sex, the greater part of our society. We got to make sure they all feel good. Make sure all these women feel good. That's what's important. As long as they feel good in the moment, then they can spend the rest of their lives in misery and suicidal and just hate this fucking world and not know why they fucking just feel empty and dead inside and push everyone away from them. Destroy everything so they can't create anything more, so they live in their base level urges, because we've discussed it in other episodes. Girls, not just girls, but the negative vibration, the power that you feel while in that energy is a strong one. And if you like it, that's what we're talking about serial killers getting in. They get that vibe. They gain some level of the feeling they want to feel, that gassed up again. They want to feel charged again. The same thing any hunter will tell you. When they're ready to fucking pull that trigger, they're fucking gassed up, their fucking heart's beating, and they're ready to fucking go. Girls become sociopaths because they play these mind games and no one holds them accountable. And so they just get away with it, and then everyone plays make-believe, and then everyone has to live in their imaginary world. And then the whole community just falls apart when people are playing make-believe. We'll talk about more in the healing about repenting and atoning, how when you want to play make-believe, play the ghost doesn't exist, and that if the ghost says boo and makes any noises, then the ghost is haunting you. So now you need to hire people to eliminate the ghost. You can't create when your mind is stuck in the negative frequency, because the need for connection can't be stabilized, or any need for that matter. Andy Taint will tell you, the goal is to make sure the girl is reliant on you.
Your goal is to inspire a girl to make money. So the way you're going to do that is you have to have some element of influence. And you're going to have that element of influence through her expecting you to look up to you. And her believing she needs you. And this is extremely important. Because at the beginning she will need you. But then she won't need you. But you have to keep that fallacy, keep that dream alive. If not you, somebody else. And the other person she's talking to is going to have the control over her mind as opposed to you. And if you control her mind and you control her mind, once she starts to pick up after a few weeks, a few months, whatever, and realize how to make money on her own, or she's going to run off and pay her boyfriend, or then do her traveling in Southeast Asia, she's going to work, she knows, or she's going to go to her boyfriend and say, look, fuck you, you
Games are to try to control her mind after she realizes she can do it on her own, and to still be on the team, so you can still, you know, take advantage of her being a whore and how he created the whore. I mean, empowered woman that cares, whatever you guys call yourselves these days. We're gonna go into drugs in 2 videos from now, dive deep into the big pharma, the psychiatric drugs. Drugs that are psychoactive, the ones that alter the state of the mind is what we're going to focus on. The big pharma drugs, a lot of times it's designed to control the energy, to numb the energy. It's like a governor on a car saying, I don't want you to go above this energy level, because if you do, then we're afraid in that high elevated state of energy that you might cause some sort of rift in our little society. So then we're gonna poison you so that you don't have those emotions anymore. It's not that those emotions go away, you just feel less. And then in the system at play, it seems to be more like go talk to somebody who helps you blame all your problems on somebody else and then go on about your way of pretending that you care and love because you found blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the big pharma drugs are designed to shut the mind and the energy down. The psychoactive ones, how they alter your state of mind and your consciousness. The thought process behind that is help you get into an altered state of consciousness so that you can then recreate your life or create it in reality. When you're not in a high emotional state, you're more of a stabilized energy, so you can set up your life the way you want it to be and communicate your problems and issues with the people that you're trying to communicate them to. And then once you do that, you can do the shadow work to heal from all of this stuff. Then the goal is to get off of the drugs so that you can live in that world that you've created for yourself and be present in that world. You can't do it fully when you're shutting the energy down. The drugs, the alcohol shuts the mind off. What that means isn't that you're not functioning, it's that you're not thinking about the super ego, the higher version of yourself, of what you want to be. You're only living in the now, being present with your feelings, and then acting out all of your feelings without consciously thinking about whether or not you should or shouldn't, how it's going to affect. The concept of hedonism is to do whatever feels good in the moment and live the most fullest and best life you can possibly live. And you can't do that if you're destroying your relationships and your lives around you because feelings that you have. Because of spiritual warfare, it's a natural thing for all of us to do. It's just the problem is when people make it a mission to infiltrate other people's lives and their minds so that they can gain access and use people as they want to use them. What I want to focus on when we get into the drugs are more of the psychedelic drugs, the mushrooms, the psilocybin. You're ingesting a level of poison, and some sort of poison that's shutting down or causing your system to flood with whatever causes you to trip. And one of the goals to get to is to be able to live in the vibration that you want to live in without needing the access to the drugs. And most people go to alcohol because it shuts the mind off. You don't feel the guilt and the shame of all of your actions anymore. Now you just feel whatever's present in the moment, and shame is more of a future me problem, so you're not thinking about that. And then cocaine makes you more alert, happy. It's like somehow puts you in like a positive, good vibe and upbeat. Adderall is what's created from it. So this is the problems that I have too, because when we get into the military machine that goes across overseas and destroys poppies in other countries because it's medicine, but you can also get high off of it. So we just say no one's allowed to have it, and whoever is in control of the government, being whatever cartel lord, is paying our system to create these drugs as team good guy. Everybody else is a competitor, so therefore they need to be destroyed. And they're not just competitors, they're the bad guy competitor. America, you know how we're the good guys, Israel is the victim, and Jews are the victims, so they're expanding their territory by mass genocide because they're victims. You know, that's what victims do, because victims need to hurt people. That's their solution. Fucking cunt. Those are the ones that I'm going to focus on, the psychedelic ones, how they use them for the spiritual warfare, not just the mushrooms, but all the drugs.
Then she's yours. Hello, America.
The goal of these people, most of them, are just to peer pressure somebody into breaking their moral code so that they'll go be whatever you want or they want to be in the moment. So the goal of the mushrooms, when we're going to use them, is to build up a process of what you want your life to be. We'll have have that 6-week course, you'll go through your needs assessment. And then when you're on the mushrooms, you'll go hit a state of derealization where reality won't be reality. You'll think everything's real, but it's really more like a dream state. It should be seen as like a dream state. It's called the theta brainwave state, essentially. It's that state where you're half awake and half asleep. So your mind is still processing and alert. You're just thinking thoughts, and then you feel the feelings associated with those thoughts, and it feels real when you're on them, but it's not real. It's not necessarily something that can't become real in the future, but it'll help you process what a delusion is versus what reality is, because you're gonna get a flood of thoughts and emotions and ideas, but you can manifest them if you keep working towards those goals, and then other people are on board with it. The goal is, once you go hit that derealized state, is then to take some time off of any sort of drug that's gonna alter your mind, and just go process everything that you were fed for a little while and pull it together. And how is this gonna help move forward towards your goals while making you more connected and one with everything and everyone around you, so that we all can grow and align together rather than divide and become a fragmented society. In the next video, we're going to talk about problem solving, self-care, coping mechanisms. Cognitive behavioral therapy will tend to be the focus on that. That's a concept of, I have a thought, I have a feeling, and then I have an action, and how do all those differ? How do my feelings affect my actions? How do my thoughts affect my feelings? How do my feelings affect my thoughts? And how do they all interconnect together?